This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Good morning. The latest drama with the Valley Boys. The Bahamas just 2 wins away from the Olympics in basketball. And a call for the central bank to review bank fees. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Thursday, July 4th, 2024. Welcome to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Laverne Gardner will be joining us. Also, the latest on Hurricane Beryl in the Caribbean. And in business, we're talking with Easy Car Sales. Their Generation E promotion is underway. They'll explain what that's all about. That's coming up. But first, it's time for the Overnight, the latest breaking news from while we're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, due to concerns over witness interference, a Supreme Court judge refusing bail to a retired prison officer accused of shooting his now former girlfriend. 66-year-old Jeffrey Sherman faces 2 counts of attempted murder and 2 counts of possession of a firearm with intent to endanger life in relation to a shooting that allegedly took place on August 24th last year. The father of 18 is accused of shooting Bridget Ingram in the arms with a shotgun. Sherman had been freed on emergency bail. However, he was remanded into custody after his suretors asked to be removed following claims that he had come into deliberate contact with Ingram by repeatedly visiting her church. Sherman was prohibited from coming within 100 feet of Ingram as a condition of his bail. After spending several months on remand, he reapplied for bail. In refusing bail, Senior Justice Cheryl Grant Thompson noted that Ingram now worships under armed guard. Grant Thompson said that Sherman could come under attack by a misguided person seeking to protect Ingram and her family. Grant Thompson said she denied Sherman bail for the protection of the virtual complainant and for public safety. She said he would have ordinarily been granted bail given his age and lack of antecedents. Sherman's trial set for 2025. A resident of Seven Hills charged with murder in connection with a fatal stabbing last week. Prosecutors allege that Cornell Cooper killed Heston Adderley on June 28th by stabbing him in the neck. After the stabbing, Adderley collapsed and died on Blue Hill Road South. Cooper did not have to enter a plea to the murder charge yesterday when he made his initial court appearance before Chief Magistrate Roberta Reckley. He was denied bail and the matter was adjourned for the presentation of a voluntary bill of indictment. Long Island MP Adrian Gibson hitting out at local banks, saying one bank's decision to charge customers 50 cents per declined debit card transaction is, quote, ludicrous and unacceptable. During debate in the House of Assembly on two civil aviation bills, Gibson called on the central bank to step in and better regulate the fees commercial banks are charging customers. He referenced a news report that was shared widely yesterday, which detailed a notice from RBC to its customers. That notice informed the bank's customers that as of July 31st, debit card clients would be charged 50 cents per declined transaction at bank ATMs in-country and purchases at local point of sale. The notice advised customers to ensure they have sufficient funds in their account to complete transactions, to verify that their card details and PIN are entered correctly, and to be aware of their debit card's daily limit. But Gibson complained about the fact that it appears that people will also be charged a fee if they exceed the bank's daily spending limit. He called on the central bank to step in. Overseas, Hurricane Beryl ripping off roofs in Jamaica, jumbled fishing boats in Barbados, and damaged or destroyed 95% of homes on a pair of islands in St. Vincent and the Grenadines before rumbling towards the Cayman Islands and taking aim at Mexico's Caribbean coast after leaving at least 7 dead in its wake. What had been the earliest storm to develop into a Category 5 hurricane in the Atlantic weakened slightly but remained a major hurricane today. Its eye forecast to pass just south of the Cayman Islands overnight. Mexico's popular Caribbean coast prepared shelters, evacuated some small outlying coastal communities, and even removed sea turtle eggs off beaches threatened by storm surge. But in nightlife hotspots like Playa del Carmen and Tulum, tourists still took one more night on the town. Mexico's Navy patrolled areas like Tulum, telling tourists in Spanish and English to prepare for the storm's arrival. As of early this morning, the storm center was about 500 miles east-southeast of Tulum. It had maximum sustained winds of 125 miles per hour and was moving west-northwest at 21 miles per hour. As we said, the storm has already shown destructive potential. Its destructive potential across a long swath of the southeastern Caribbean. Beryl's eye wall brushed Jamaica's southern coast Wednesday afternoon, knocking out power and ripping off roofs. Prime Minister Andrew Holness said Jamaica had not seen the worst of what could possibly happen. Several roadways in Jamaica's interior settlements were impacted by fallen trees and utility poles, while some communities in the northern section were without electricity. The worst, perhaps, came earlier in Beryl's trajectory when it smacked 2 islands in the Lesser Antilles. 3 people were killed in Grenada and Carriacou, and another St. Vincent in the Grenadines Island as well. 3 other deaths reported in northern Venezuela, where 4 people were missing. One fatality in Grenada occurred after a tree fell on a house. St. Vincent and the Grenadines Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves has promised to rebuild the archipelago. Israel's cabinet set to convene today to discuss Hamas's latest response to a U.S.-backed proposal for a phased ceasefire in Gaza as diplomatic efforts aimed at ending the 9-month war stirred back to life after a weeks-long hiatus. Fighting intensified between Israel and Lebanon's Hezbollah, though, with the militant group saying it fired more than 200 rockets and exploding drones into northern Israel to avenge the killing of a senior commander. in an Israeli airstrike the day before. The relatively low-level conflict has literally set the border ablaze and raised fears of a potentially even more devastating war in the Middle East. Hezbollah has said it will halt its attacks if there is a ceasefire between Hamas and Israel. Hamas is a fellow Iran-backed ally. And British voters are picking a new government today in a parliamentary election that is widely expected to bring the Labour Party to power against a gloomy backdrop of economic malaise, mounting distrust in institutions, and a fraying social fabric. A jaded electorate is delivering its verdict on Prime Minister Rishi Sunak's Conservative Party, which has been in power since 2010. Polls opened at 40,000 polling stations in a vast variety of locales, including church halls, laundromats, and even a crematorium. Hundreds of communities are locked in tight contests in which traditional party loyalties come second to more immediate concerns about the economy, crumbling infrastructure, and the National Health Service. In sports, a stunning display of skill and precision, Team Bahamas emerged victorious in their qualification group at the FIBA, the International Basketball Federation Olympic Qualifying Tournament in Spain. Led by their stars out of the NBA, they secured the top spot in Group B and advanced to the Olympic qualifying semifinals with an impressive win over Poland. The Bahamian squad showcasing prowess, shooting a scorching 45% from the three-point range. The score 90-81. Valdez Vijay Edgecombe scoring 21 points for Team Bahamas. DeAndre Ayton had 18 points. Read more about it in today's Guardian Sports section. And it's coming to the Bahamas. Thrilling baseball spectacle. The Babe Ruth Caribbean Regional Championships making a triumphant return to the Blue Hill Sporting Complex. Set for July 7th through 11th. It's the third edition of the championships. Showdowns will be seen between 6, 12, and under teams from Anguilla, Aruba, the Bahamas, the Cayman Islands, Jamaica, and Puerto Rico, as well as 8 16 and under teams from Aruba, the Bahamas, Belize, Cayman Islands, Puerto Rico, USA, MJBL, USA South, and Venezuela. Over the past 2 years, the tournament has attracted top-tier talent, renowned coaches, and umpires from around the region. This year expected to be no exception. From the NBA, LeBron James is making it official. He's coming back for a record-tying 22nd season, one where the league's all-time scoring leader could share the floor with his son, Bronny, as teammates with the Los Angeles Lakers. James has agreed to a 2-year contract to remain with the Lakers. The second year of the deal is at James's option and means he could become a free agent again next summer. This is coming from a person speaking to the Associated Press on condition of anonymity because the agreement has not yet been publicly announced. ESPN reported that the Lakers and James's agent, Clutch Sports CEO Rich Paul, may agree on a salary slightly less than the max that James could have gotten, a move that could keep the team from reaching the second apron and preserve some roster flexibility going forward. Either way, the expectation is that James will make around $50 million, give or take a little bit, this coming season, pushing his career on-court earnings to around $530 million and making him the first player in the NBA to eclipse the $500 million mark. A Again, it will be James's 22nd season in the NBA, tying Vince Carter for the league record. The Lakers selected Bronny James last week in the second round of the draft, putting them in position to have the first on-court father-son duo in NBA history. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. Got your first look at weather for today. We've got the Bahamas under the influence of a ridge of high pressure that will continue to support moderate to locally fresh breezes. Meanwhile, the outflow from Hurricane Beryl will extend cloudiness across the central and southeastern islands. Boaters and beachgoers should exercise caution due to the risk of rip currents, especially along eastern shorelines in the central and southeastern islands. And there is a possibility of waterspout and funnel cloud activity. Heat indices also expected to reach the triple digits today, so it's recommended that you remain hydrated and limit outdoor activities during peak sunshine hours. Your forecast for today for the northwest Bahamas, partly sunny and hot with cloudy periods of isolated showers and a few afternoon thunderstorms. Partly cloudy, warm and humid tonight with a stray shower or two. For boaters, expect gusty winds and higher seas in or near showers and thunderstorms. Winds easterly at 10 to 15 knots, falling light and variable. Seas 2 to 4 feet. For the central and southeast Bahamas, mostly cloudy, hot and breezy with isolated showers and a few stray thunderstorms. Partly cloudy, warm and a bit breezy tonight with a few passing showers. Small craft caution in effect today. Expect gusty winds and higher seas in or near heavy showers and thunderstorms. Winds easterly at 15 to 20 knots, falling to 10 to 15 knots in the central Bahamas by this evening. Seas 4 to 7 feet, but falling to 2 to 4 feet in the central islands by this evening. Temperature-wise, today we're looking at highs getting up to around 91 Fahrenheit, 33 Celsius. The heat index will make you feel like it's 102 Fahrenheit, 39 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 80 Fahrenheit, 26 Celsius. Currently in Nassau, it is already about 84 degrees. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have your extended outlook and a look at the tropics coming up after traffic in just a bit. You're listening to Morning Blend. When we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on your home for fresh news and smart talk all day. Guardian Radio 96.9.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Earning zero interest on your savings at the bank? With as little as $100, you can start earning interest on your money while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank with the CFAL Savings Express Plan. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit CFAL.com to start now. CFAL. Growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
Living with a neurological condition shouldn't define you. At Cleveland Clinic in Florida, we do whatever it takes to make life better today while discovering new treatments for a brighter tomorrow. From epilepsy management to specialized spine care and brain tumor surgery, we're delivering world-class neurology care for the day-to-day, for the days you live for every care in the world. Visit clevelandclinicflorida.org T-Mobile.com/Caribbean.
Looking to elevate your gadget game or a tech trouble simply slowing you down? Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life with the best from Apple and Windows or your device needs a little TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Caves Village, or call 396-1100.
Do you have uncontrollable debt? Are you ready to make that move to Fidelity for a stress-free future? These loans have a built-in savings plan that pays you unbeatable interest. Ask about our debt consolidation loans today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas, Channel 969, and BTC Flow, Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line, powered by BTC, 422-4796, standard text rate supply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Join me now, we've got Laverne Gardner. Laverne Gardner, good morning.
Good morning, Dwight. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. How are things in Grand Bahama?
Hot.
Yeah, well, hey, that's the whole country, I guess, eh? So coming up this morning, we are going to be in business talking with Easy Car Sales. They are launching their Generation E promotion. Their ads all over the papers. I think you're hearing them on the radio as well. It's a major campaign trying to get everybody on board with the EV movement. So we'll learn more about that today. That's all ahead, but let's begin with what else is in the news. And in the news, all eyes, of course, on the Caribbean and what's happening with Beryl. Beryl just brushing the eye of Beryl, brushing along the southern coast of Jamaica yesterday, bringing a lot of damage to the island. And I'm sure today there'll be a clearer picture of exactly the extent of that damage as Beryl takes aim now at the Cayman Islands, a very small group of islands, and this is some scary times indeed. The headline, the NASA Guardian, our turn to help. Bahamas mobilizes resources as Beryl continues destructive path. And so we're being told the Bahamas and other countries in the region starting the process of mobilizing resources to assist the storm-ravaged nations. Definitely everybody will need to pitch in to help. Just we've been there. We know how this goes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So any help we can offer, whatever we can do.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. This article is saying that as Jamaican Prime Minister Andrew Holness addressed the nation, Jamaica, on Tuesday, ahead of Beryl's impact, he described it as the most dangerous hurricane threat that Jamaica had faced probably in decades. And as we are hearing so far, that there has been quite a bit of damage, including in the interior settlements of the island, where the impact definitely would have been felt. And some of the other countries, the other islands, reporting 95% of homes destroyed or damaged in some way. Can you imagine that?
Wow.
Yeah, just crazy. So again, aiming at the Cayman Islands and then Mexico, and it could even turn in the Gulf and affect Texas, it seems. So we will see. We will see. But our hearts and prayers go out to everybody being impacted by this.
For sure. Dwight.
Yeah. All right. From that, we do have some good news. This is very, very exciting. Team Bahamas and in basketball and in the Olympic qualifiers is really just unbelievable. And I think, I don't know about you, Laverne, but I felt years ago that we should have been right where we are right now, a powerhouse in basketball. And I think we've even done shows on this before that a great case could have been made for basketball to be the national sport of the Bahamas. But we know, yes, we understand why sailing was chosen.
Yeah.
It definitely, you can't argue with it, but a case can be made for basketball indeed.
It most definitely can.
Yeah.
But it's so exciting.
It is. 2 wins from the
2
Olympics.
wins. So we're on to the semifinals and the qualifiers.
That's right. That's right. Beating Poland yesterday, 90-81. And Finland the day before. So this is pretty amazing. And everybody's talking about Valdez VJ Edgecombe, who is, 18 years old?
Yeah.
And he's stealing the show from the NBA players. 21 points he scored to DeAndre Ayton's 18, which is pretty good. But yeah, everybody's got their eyes on VJ. And this is cool. This is pretty cool. So our Omri Kelly writing in today's NASA Guardian that the game started with a bang as Team Bahamas unleashed a barrage of three-pointers, going 6 for 10 from downtown in the first quarter alone. NBA sharpshooter Giovanni Buddy Hield set the tone and led the charge from the long range. By halftime, the score was 50-38 in the Bahamas' favor. DeAndre Ayton finished the game with 18 points, as we said, 9 rebounds. Hield had 17 points, 10 assists, and 6 rebounds. Eric Gordon added 12 points and 5 assists. And but again, it was 18-year-old Valdez Edgecombe Jr. who stole the show with his remarkable performance with 21 points, including a clutch three-pointer in the final minute of the game. Edgecombe showed his immense value to the team, making big plays on both offense and defense, leading all scorers and defended at a high level, demonstrating his potential as a rising star in Bahamian basketball. Wow. Pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, so can you imagine? Can you imagine?
It's
if we
wonderful.
To the Olympics.
That's right.
Wow. So what comes next? Looking ahead, Team Bahamas will prepare for the semifinals set to take place Saturday. Their opponent will be determined in the match between Lebanon and Angola today. We got this. We got this. The Bahamian squad.
I love how you said that. Like me, I'm always sitting on edge every game.
Oh boy, the Bahamian squad is riding a wave of momentum and will look to bring their A game as they continue their quest for Olympic qualification. They're just 2 wins away from becoming the first in team sports from the Bahamas to advance to the Olympics. That is pretty cool, folks. Let's get your reaction to this.
Absolutely very cool. And what they've done so far.
Amazing.
I know the Olympics, being at the Olympics, playing in the Olympics is a goal, but just what they've done so far as a team, and especially a team that didn't have an opportunity to work together. You know what I mean? It isn't like we have this team all the time practicing, working, but to be able to come together and do what they're doing so far.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's hear from you, folks. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Call us toll free from the Family Islands, 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. Yeah, so we're really rooting for the team. This would be quite something. We need to show some of these countries. Show some people something.
That's Dwight.
Oh, boy. All right, so this texter says, hush, Dwight, I don't want you putting mouth on our basketball team. No, not at all. Not at all. So, yeah, let's just leave it then. All right, let's just leave it there.
Because Dwight, you already started. Not yet. It's not time for that kind of talk yet.
Oh, boy. All right. Just want to read this story. This story on the front page of the Nassau Guardian today. No, we don't need to comment, but just listen to what's going on in our country, though. Ex-prison officer accused of shooting denied bail. Our Artesia Davis writing about this. Due to concerns over witness interference, a Supreme Court judge on Wednesday refused bail to a retired prison officer accused of shooting his now former girlfriend. 66-year-old Jeffrey Sherman faces 2 counts of attempted murder and 2 counts of possession of a firearm with intent to endanger life in relation to a shooting that allegedly took place on August 24th, 2023. The father of 18 is accused.
Are you pausing for dramatic effect?
No, just for processing. For processing, is accused of shooting Bridget Ingram in the arms with a shotgun. Sherman had been freed on emergency bail. However, he was remanded into custody after his suretors asked to be removed following claims that he had come into deliberate contact with Ingram by repeatedly visiting her church. Sherman was prohibited from coming within 100 feet of Ingram as a condition of his bail. After spending several months on remand, he reapplied for bail. In refusing bail, Senior Justice Cheryl Grant Thompson noted that Ingram now worships under armed guard.
Wow.
I'm pausing for dramatic effect now. Yes.
Okay.
And what's that like for the other parishioners, the other people who go to the church? What do you think that's like? Anyway, she said, this is Justice Cheryl Grant Thompson, the court is of the view that you will interfere with her if you are granted bail. She also said that Sherman could come under attack by a misguided person seeking to protect Ingram and her family. Grant Thompson says she denied Sherman bail for the protection of the virtual complainant and for public safety. She said he would have ordinarily been granted bail given his age and lack of antecedents. Sherman's trial is set for 2025. I just have one question. Again, we're not going to talk about this, but I'm just curious. I mean,
that's why I feel like we're going to talk about it.
Well, I'm just 2023. What's the issue here? Why does this have to be so long? 2025 is the trial. I mean, okay, I don't understand.
The court's a book, Dwight.
Yeah, okay. The time this took, they could have had that trial. Who shot you? Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. You're done.
Are you saying this?
I'm
like,
just saying. I don't understand.
Open
I
and
just don't
close?
understand the country. I just don't understand the place. Nothing makes sense to me here. Is it me? Is it the country? Is it both of us? What's the challenge?
Dwight, I'm definitely going to say it's you. It is you.
I'm okay. Maybe it is. Maybe it is.
You're the problem.
Yeah. Yep. Well, then it will be an easy fix. Oh boy. Anyway, let's hope for the sake of the country it's me. So let's move on.
But they said the courts, and the time to go to trial. This is no different, Dwight. This is what happens.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this is the norm. This is not an exception. This is the norm.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, armed guards at church for you. Okay, this other story here. Adrian Gibson calls on the central bank to review bank fees. Our Tanika Thompson writing about it. Long Island MP Adrian Gibson hit out at a local bank yesterday, saying its decision to charge customers 50 cents per declined debit card transaction is ludicrous and unacceptable. During debate in the House of Assembly on 2 civil aviation bills, Gibson called on the central bank to step in and better regulate the fees commercial banks are charging customers. He referenced a news report that was shared widely yesterday, which detailed a notice from RBC to its customers. That notice informed the bank's customers that as of July 31st, debit card clients would be charged 50 cents per declined transaction at other bank ATMs in country and purchases at local point of sale. The notice advised customers to ensure that they have sufficient funds in their account to complete transactions, to verify that their card details and PIN are entered correctly, and to be aware of their debit card's daily limit. Now, Gibson said, quote, the bank, that's RBC, they are telling Bahamian consumers that if you have insufficient funds in your account, they will charge you, although they can see that you don't have nothing there. You have nothing there, and they are charging you 50 cents for having nothing there. Imagine that.
Well, you could get the 50. I'm sorry. If I don't. Okay.
Well, if you were
to. Let me put it honestly, though, I mean, and I'm chuckling, but it's to me, it's gotten to the point where it's ridiculous, but you may just not have sufficient for that purchase. It doesn't mean that you don't have anything in your account. May just not be enough for that particular purchase.
Right. And it's saying, according to Gibson again, decline transactions at other bank ATMs. So if you're using, it sounds like your regular RBC ATM, you would not have been charged these additional fees. And so because you're using a different bank, they're often, I've seen as high as, $4?
But I just
maybe more to withdraw.
You're already being charged so much when you. I mean, I don't even do it. What I need to get? Let me go to this ATM for this bank because, like you said, the charge is really high. You have to be really desperate. To use another bank's ATM.
Now, maybe you're in a place where there is no RBC ATM, and that's scary.
Like if you're in the U.S.
Well, they're saying in country, but that happens in a lot of islands around here.
Yeah,
you go somewhere and there's no RBC, but even in your Providence, often you run into an RBC that's not working, the ATM.
Right,
and so
the ATM is down, or just for you to get from where you are to get to a RBC ATM and then get back, it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, perhaps.
So you make that decision. Okay, I'm going to accept that $3, $3.50, $4, whatever the charge is. But now you got to make sure whatever you went there for, you have.
Yeah.
Because on top of that, you're going to pay extra 50 cents. But, at Dwight, we have RBC and other banks. Don't they have to get permission? Don't they have to get approval?
Who?
To assess us all of these fees that it just feels overwhelming?
From who? Toronto? Who do you mean?
No, wouldn't they have to get approval from government, from central bank? Or they can just arbitrarily do this and then they don't have to answer to anyone? There must be a regulatory body for these foreign banks.
Yeah, and yes, but they're asked in this regard, hey, can you do something about these fees? And they're like, we'll look at it. We'll see. But no one's...
Are they really advocating for us?
Well, that's a different story.
I'm not sure. I'm not as confident as you said that so easily, that they're asking and then the banks are saying, well, we'll look at it.
Here, this is exactly what's supposed to happen. Your representatives are supposed to be making noise. And then that will spur some things around. If the public is largely quiet on it, I mean, of course, people saying a lot on social media, but you have to wonder about that sometimes, right? This might get some attention. We know there's some other MPs who talk about it all the time. But the more they talk about it on behalf of us, who they represent, then more than likely, something might happen. Something might happen. But,
right, I get that. But what I'm saying is, well, I'm looking at it, much like IRCA and utility companies, if they wanted to assess a fee, that's something that goes through IRCA. I'm saying, when they sit down to make these decisions, do they just get to arbitrarily make them? There is no governing body, no body that they have to write into to say, based on the amount of declines that we are getting from other banks and other POS system, we have determined that we need to assess people a 50-cent fee.
It doesn't appear so. Correct us if we're wrong. Central Bank sent us a message, but it doesn't appear because
I thought that there was, but I could be wrong. But that's what I need to know.
Yeah. But let's continue with what Adrian Gibson's saying here. He said, this is again in the House yesterday, if you were to go and make any point of sale purchase for whatever, and you put in the wrong PIN and your card is declined, they're charging you 50 cents for that. That is ludicrous, unacceptable. That is kind of crazy. That is it though?
No, not that. That is crazy if that is it. But when your card is declined, doesn't each decline have a different code?
I don't know. I don't know.
So you don't know because what that means your card has never been declined. Sorry. Okay, no problem. So you don't have experience.
I mean, I can't. I don't know about the code stuff.
I believe that there is a different, like when your card doesn't go through for whatever reason, it doesn't even have to be lack of funds, but for whatever reason, if there's a glitch in their system, whatever. When your card goes through, I think that when you get the receipt, if it is declined, I believe that there is a code. And I am thinking that that code would determine whether or not you are assessed this 50 cents, not just straight across the board. The system was having an issue and it was declined, so you got to pay 50 cents.
All right. I'm getting some interesting information from folks, and this sounds familiar to me as well. So, yeah, I kind of remember them being $1 for declined fees. So I don't know if the 50 cent was supposed to be good news for people. Because it used to be $1. And RBC employees are telling me, it used to be $1. So, and then other people saying,
now they've reduced it.
It sounds like this is a reduction. And then,
so we should be saying yay. RBC.
We should be saying yay. Other people tell me, well,
that didn't go as way as
they got to put those words in there, right? Good news. Decline fees are down to now 50 cents. But others saying yes, other decline fees are at other banks are $1 as well. So that's some pretty bad communication there. But if it went down, and they're all saying all the others are $1 or more. So this was supposed to be good news. Wow. Anyway, he explained, but I think if you enter the PIN wrong, you shouldn't get a decline fee. Come on, man. Unless it goes, it should be a number of decline fees. Maybe. I mean, a number of wrong pins. A number.
Well, maybe your RBC friends employee friends who are texting you will be able to clarify. But like I said, I believe that there is a code, even when it's declined, and that code says, what kind of why it was declined. So if you put in, I don't believe that you'll be charged if you put in the wrong PIN. Then again, I'm not RBC. I'm not speaking on behalf of RBC. It's just that to me, that would make sense. You can't punish someone, right, because they forgot the code. Oh, I think you're receiving
Right. So
information.
I'm getting
here.
lots of
You're
people.
doing all of the
You hear all that?
and oh,
Everyone's saying
okay.
no. It wouldn't be for the wrong pin.
Right.
Only for insufficient funds.
Insufficient funds. Yeah, for
Because
sure.
that's insane. Because your finger could slip. The buttons are
Right,
tiny.
that's what I'm saying.
So
Right.
we're getting confirmation. This was supposed to be good news, and it just went bad. This wasn't a reduction in the fees.
Who is their
I
communication
really
officer?
don't understand.
Because that
Because you're supposed to put
person
that in the whole
should
thing.
have indicated somewhere in the letter that RBC is pleased
Right. This is great
to
news.
announce that we have reduced our fees.
Mm-hmm.
So then it doesn't come across as if this is a new fee, when in actuality this is an existing fee that has been reduced.
And probably
everybody should be like, hallelujah,
Right.
let me go. And if I don't have an account at RBC, let me go and open up one.
And who knows? This might be in response. We know that Fox Hill MP Fred Mitchell has been complaining about this for years. It seems like fees and what's happening. So maybe this is in response to all of that. Caller, we'll get to in a second. But Gibson again complained about the fact that it appears people will also be charged if they exceed the bank's daily spending limit. He called on the central bank to step in. He said, quote, "How can this foolishness possibly be allowed? I call upon the central bank to intervene." Just this past March, the central bank released its analysis of commercial fees, and it showed that there were varying and differing costs per bank for deposit accounts, credit card transactions, digital transactions, and so on.
It really is overwhelming. You feel sometimes as if well, first of all, don't go into the bank. That's number one. There's a charge for going into the bank. But every time you turn around, you feel like there's a fee about something. There's a fee for something. Oh, you came into the bank and you only said good morning to 2 tellers. So based on that, we've assessed you a 10-cent fee. I'm being ridiculous,
Wow.
but that's how it feels.
That might be. You just
That
gave
might
some
be
people
true,
an
right?
idea.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm sorry I said that.
Depending on your attitude,
Yeah.
you'll get
Ugh.
right. Gibson's also saying the central bank must put caps on these fees. The central bank must cause banks to remove certain fees. The central bank must better regulate these practices where banks are popping up with random fees to extract more and more money from our people. At some point, it must be realized that you cannot overwhelm people's finances and that you simply cannot get blood from a stone. Wow.
Okay. Well, there you go. He mentioned central bank several times and regulating. So central bank must have some sort of say or authority.
Well, let's hear
So
from
we
you.
call on central bank to exert that authority.
I don't know how much they will be able to do that. These
Oh,
banks
Dwight.
will say, hey, our costs are high. We've got to pay exorbitant electricity. We probably have to have tons of generators.
But I'm sorry, your customers don't. They live in a separate bubble where all of those things that you just mentioned, they're not experiencing.
Well, then they'll say, fine, we'll have to reduce our staff complement and close more branches and remove some ATMs. Who knows? But boy,
No, they're never going to remove ATMs because banks really want to discourage you from coming into the banks anyway.
Wow. All right, let's hear from this
Do
caller.
as much as you can at the ATM.
Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Well, good morning. How are you guys?
Doing well.
Great. So
Morning.
I think the central bank does regulate all of the clearing banks. And that being said, if that is the case, they're doing a terrible job. Or somebody is being, I don't know, but it's ridiculous what is being done to the Bahamian citizenry, and it's just terrible. We are not being well represented by those who are supposed to be looking out for our best interest.
So the thing they tell you often is that you, as the consumer, need to shop around. If you feel this bank is taking advantage of you, then you need to go to different banks.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. When you shop around, it's the same thing. All of the clearing banks are the same way. Even our local bank, the Bank of the Bahamas, the same thing.
Wow.
It's just terrible. And these foreign banks, are they doing? Are they charging customers these fees in those countries?
In their home
That is
country.
something that we
Good
got to look at.
question.
Are they charging these exorbitant fees in these countries? I mean, everything you have to pay a fee for. This is ridiculous. This is not first world behavior. Okay, you go on when you travel, you don't experience these things. You don't experience all these fees, and it. I mean, it makes no sense. It's like we are a pop down country, and you could do anything here. Okay, let's go to the black countries, and the fees we cannot charge in our countries, we charge them in these so-called third world countries.
Wow,
it's ridiculous. You got to wait 2-3 weeks, a month to get a debit card. I mean, it's just ridiculous. The service does not equal all the fees that you pay. It's ridiculous. You know, the ATMs, they never. Well, I shouldn't say never. They hardly work. You know, you got to be going from ATM to ATM. The service is not there. Okay, you get in charge a service fee on a debit card. But besides, when you use your card in a store or online, they charge you. You charge a monthly fee for having that card, apart from whatever the government gets and its VAT and its stamp tax, et cetera, et cetera. So it's ridiculous. I mean, Bahamian people are being unjustifiably abused all over. I mean, all over. And everybody is in the citizens' pocket. They're squeezing us for everything. That's ridiculous. And somebody has to do something for the Bahamian people for once. We're about to celebrate 51 years as a sovereign. That ought to count for something. Okay? Somebody's got to start looking out for the Bahamian people. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, I hear you.
Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Dwight, like the caller says, all of the fees and everything that you are assessed, a local bank here, they announced that, if you come into the bank to make a deposit or withdrawal or whatever, that you're going to be assessed a fee, right? If you come into the bank. If you come into the bank and go to the teller, never mind the fact that that's how banking, that's your business model, because you didn't have ATMs in the bank start. But the thing that you started off with, how you service your customers, you now are going to charge for. Okay, they tell you you have to do this at the ATM.
Well, you charge for that too, but it's not as much. You charge at the ATM, but not as much.
Right. But what I'm saying is, this is what was always done. This is how, when you said you're going to have a bank, it was with tellers. It wasn't with an ATM. But now you assessing a charge for using the very service that always existed. Not a new service, the service that always existed. Anyway, you go to the ATM, Dwight, and I'm sharing my own personal experience. You go to the ATM because, fine, you don't really like to go into banks anyway. There's no drive-through, so you have to park and you have to go and you have to use the ATM. It's a dumb ATM machine, which what I mean is when you deposit, it isn't like it's instantly placed on your account. It's not. You deposit and tellers, whomever, still have to retrieve the money.
Well, it depends on the bank. Some are doing that.
I'm telling you this bank that I went to.
Right, your
my
bank.
Experience. So the ATMs, one of my banks. So the ATM's down. So I decide to go inside because both ATMs are down. Would you believe they still wanted to assess me the charge?
Wow.
I'm trying to use the service that you say I need to use. But it is not available. I come in, I make you aware, and you still look me in the eye and say to me, we're going to charge you.
My goodness.
There's nothing that we can do.
Wow.
And I was so disturbed by that. Oh, here's the kicker. So then, because now at this point, I'm very upset. So my volume of speaking has increased because this is just egregious to me. So then in the middle of that, very helpful rep comes out and says, Mrs. Gardner, the machine is up now. You can make a deposit. So I could go walk back outside in the hot sun. Oh no, wasn't so hot because it had started raining. So I can go back out there to make the deposit because your machines was down. So how is that customer service? How is that? So these are the kinds of things that people are experiencing. And I was not the only one. There was another lady behind me who came in to do the same thing. Of course, we're talking about it on the line, but when we get to the counter, I'm the lone voice crying in the wilderness.
That's how it
but
is.
that's not right, right? That's not right. So I'm calling on these banks to do better. Fidelity.
What now? Oh, boy. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yeah, good morning, Dwight. How you doing?
Doing well.
Good
Well,
morning.
glad you're on this topic. I'm going to go a little deeper. We have these, shall I say, foreign banks. I won't call any names. Foreign banks and telecommunication companies, whereas they would have laid off Bahamians, right, because the job is being made redundant. But then you have people, foreigners, out of the country calling you on your account. And so how could you take the Bahamian money? You're going to lay off Bahamians. You're going to take that money that you earn in the Bahamas to hire people outside the Bahamas to do the same function in which the Bahamians would have done. I get people calling me sometime. I say, I cannot speak to you because it's a private matter. You're out of the Bahamas. But they're hiring people, right, after they lay off Bahamians, they're hiring people to call you on your private business in relation to the bank or the telecommunication company. The government needs to set rules and regulations with these banks. If you're going to make it redundant and lay off Bahamians, therefore that services cannot be rendered outside this country. And I hope the central bank is listening to me. I hope the Minister of Finance is listening to me. We have to change this policy. You're firing Bahamians, but yet you say the job is redundant. But the job cannot be redundant if you're going to give a hire some foreign persons, maybe from Barbados or Jamaica, to call you. That has to change. What are we doing in this country? You're taking Bahamian money to go hire somebody else in the country and then you lay off the Bahamians? That has to change. That has to change. Thank you.
All right. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Let's see if we can squeeze this call in really quickly. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Turn on your radio for us, please.
Sorry for that, Dwight. Morning. How you all?
Doing well.
All right. I just want to say something in regards to what the caller just said, and just tell the Bahamas that's what happens when you borrow foreign loans, and there's something known as the Washington Consensus and structural readjustment. So when foreign companies deregulate your government, they come in and set their policies for transnational companies. We're seeing it with the privatizations of so many sectors, and it will continue to happen and until the foreign companies, they establish and fully control government by capital means. And it all happens and starts with when you borrow money from the IMF and don't pay it off in the set time. They go through structural readjustment, and we will continue to see it in all sectors until they fully make all banking automated in the Bahamas, and they make most of these jobs AI efficient and automated. That's my advice.
Okay. All right. Well, let's hope it works if they do it. But yeah, that's interesting stuff. This texture here, as we go to the break, this person says here, we need clarity on this matter. Is the bank charging $1.50 or decreasing it by 50 cents? Because at present they are already charging $1 for decline transaction fees. Well, now that's interesting too. Got to look at this very carefully and see what's going on. No, okay, can't read that one there. This isn't about the ATM. It's about charges at stores. In the Bahamas, RBC often denies transactions even when you have the amount there. The hassle of seeking credit via calling in an all-day event is an all-day event. So imagine seeking help for that 50 cents or 2 or 3 denials all day to get your dollar back. I had my Commonwealth Bank debit card declined minimum 3 times when it definitely had funds on it. What happens is the fault is in their system. The cashier named off the banks they were having issues with cards. There shouldn't be a fine. Yeah, so they're saying the issues that cause it to look like you don't have the money on the account, but it is there, and that's been causing a lot of issues, yeah. Each transaction, whether processed or declined, has a transaction code that generates an authorization code is generated. Okay. Okay. I'm not going to respond to that or read it. This person says here they are also charging you for each point of sale purchase, 50 cents for each purchase. I don't know about that. Do you see that? I'm not sure. By the time the banks, the Bahamas and our local banks are finished with us, they will be charging us to breathe. I think that's happening already. No? I think we're paying for that, Laverne. Banks here treat us like third-class citizens. They do not even have bathrooms for customers in Canada. Customers are allowed to use bathrooms. In January 2024, the U.S. Biden administration placed overdraft fees at the center of a campaign against what it called junk fees and directed government regulators to do whatever is in their power to further curtail the practice. Yes, you recall that. Yeah. This person says their bank charged me for using the teller to get foreign change that I can't obtain from the ATM. That's how out of control these banks are. I think that's been going on for a little while, though, no? I think that has. Laverne, you there? Did we lose her? Yeah?
No, I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here.
Yeah, they're talking about these non-smart ATMs at some banks still, yeah. When you make it... Yeah, it's frustrating, very frustrating, especially on a weekend, and especially a Friday, and when it may take a couple days to clear. Very frustrating. And don't do it on a Friday before a holiday, good Lord. When you make a deposit from one account to another, it can take 48 hours or more to clear, and the ATMs only give you 50s and hundreds at some ATMs. This can't be right.
Mm-hmm. Are they? Maybe they're speaking specifically to RBC.
Yeah. I'm calling in. This is a 919 area code. I want to tell you here in North Carolina, there's an ATM in North Carolina where there is a live person that comes on the screen. They verify you with your driver's license and conduct your transactions. I was blown away by what I saw. Is it a live person? Wow. Okay. I'm sure that must be costly for the bank. With all these fees, the bank charges customers. They still pay you minimum wages. I used to work at a bank, and I had to quit because of the low pay. It's ridiculous how much money this particular bank made, but it has the worst salaries ever. I'm not working out of a foreign bank. I'm doing pretty well. I'm now working, they're trying to say, out of a foreign bank. I'm doing pretty well. That's something that needs to be looked into. Well, okay. And this last text here, I've recently decided that I'm going back to cash. It is too difficult and expensive to do digital transactions in this country. Well, oh boy, it costs a lot of money to get cash. It costs a lot of money to get it. I don't know. There are pros and cons for everything. But yeah, we've got some challenges here. Some things need to be regulated and rectified and readjusted and rationalized, absolutely, and we do need our elected officials to join us in the fight. Indeed.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a break and be back after the news. This is Morning Blend on a Thursday morning here on Guardian Radio. Happy 4th of July to our Americans out there, our American listeners. We'll be back. Stay with us.
Come to collect, come to collect, come to collect everything that you owe me. Come to collect, come to collect, come to collect everything that you owe me. Come to collect, come to collect, come to collect everything that you owe me. Pay me, oh, pay me what you owe me. Pay me, oh, pay me what you owe me. Pay me for my brothers and my sisters. Pay me for my brothers and my sisters. Pay me for the tall hanging tree. Pay me for the spirit in the sea. Pay me for all of my dead. Pay me for the blood that you shed. Pay me, pay me, pay me, pay me, pay me, pay me, oh, pay me, pay me, pay me, pay me, pay me, oh, pay me, oh.
This is Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and on BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line, powered by BTC 422-4796. Standard text rate supply. And now at 8:23, it is now time for check of your weather, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paints. Sherwin-Williams Paints has got you covered for all of your painting and equipment needs. Visit Sherwin-Williams Paints online or in-store today. Here's what's happening. We've got the Bahamas under the influence of a ridge of high pressure that will continue to support moderate to locally fresh breezes. Meanwhile, the outflow of Hurricane Beryl will extend cloudiness across the central and southeastern Bahamas. Boaters and beachgoers should exercise caution due to the risk of rip currents, especially along eastern shorelines in the central and southeast Bahamas, and there is a possibility of waterspout and funnel cloud activity. Also, heat indices are expected to reach the triple digits today, so it's recommended to remain hydrated and limit outdoor activities during peak sunshine hours. For today, your forecast for the northwest Bahamas: partly sunny and hot with cloudy periods of isolated showers and a few afternoon thunderstorms. Partly cloudy, warm and humid tonight with a stray shower or two possible. In the central and southeast Bahamas, mostly cloudy, hot and breezy with isolated showers and a few stray thunderstorms. Partly cloudy, warm and a bit breezy tonight with a few passing showers. Small craft caution in effect today. Temperatures today getting up to around 91 Fahrenheit, 33 Celsius, but the heat index will make you feel like it's 102 Fahrenheit, 39 Celsius. Currently in Nassau, it's about 85 degrees, partly cloudy skies. Look for lows tonight getting down to about 80 Fahrenheit, 26 Celsius. A very warm night indeed. In your extended outlook, the ridge of high pressure across the area will weaken on Friday and shift slightly eastward to allow lighter winds over the northwestern islands throughout the weekend. So hot and humid conditions expected throughout the weekend, as well as low-level troughing near the northwest Bahamas and mid to upper-level troughing near the southeast Bahamas will support shower activity on Saturday. So for tomorrow, Friday, partly cloudy, hot and humid with isolated showers and a few thunderstorms, a bit breezy in the southeast Bahamas. Saturday, partly cloudy, hot and humid with scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. In the tropics, we are continuing to watch Hurricane Beryl, the latest on that in a bit. Elsewhere, a fast-moving tropical wave located over the eastern Caribbean Sea continues to produce an area of disorganized shower and thunderstorm activity. Development, if any, of the system should be slow to occur while it makes its way westward to west-northwestward. The system has a low chance, about 20%, of tropical cyclone formation in the next 7 days. The latest on Beryl. Weather is deteriorating in the Cayman Islands with strong winds, dangerous storm surge, and damaging waves expected there this morning. The center as of 5 o'clock was just about 55 miles south-southeast of Grand Cayman. Beryl is moving towards the west-northwest near 20 miles per hour or westward to west-northwest motions expected during the next day or two, taking the core of Beryl just south of the Cayman Islands early today and over the Yucatan Peninsula early Friday. Beryl is expected to emerge over the southwestern Gulf of Mexico Friday night and turn northwestward. Maximum sustained winds have decreased to near 120 miles per hour. With higher gusts, Beryl is still a Category 3 hurricane at this time. Weakening is forecast during the next day or so, but Beryl is forecast to be a major hurricane, maintaining this intensity today as it passes over the Cayman Islands. Additional weakening is expected thereafter. Hurricane force winds extend outward up to 45 miles from the center, and tropical storm force winds extend outward up to 185 miles from the center. That is your morning blend weather check. Weather check also brought to you by Easy Car Sales. Are you shopping for a new car? Well, before you decide, compare. Easy Car Sales invites you to try an electric vehicle. Take a test drive. You'll love the smooth, powerful ride and the big savings. Dump the pump and drive electric. You'll never go back to gas. Drop into Easy Car Sales on Gladstone Road or visit easy242.com to find out more. It's time for your check of traffic for the morning, brought to you by RBC. Find your loan solution with RBC. In your traffic alert, we are seeing that there's some major work going on Mackey Street, just near Shirley Street and off East Bay Street as you come off the Paradise Island Bridge, and that is causing some slow-moving traffic in that area. So keep that in mind this morning. Elsewhere, we've got Robbins Road looking busy for you, especially near to Old Trail, and as you approach East-West Highway if you're heading westbound. Soldier Road also busy for you just north of the intersection with Robinson and Prince Charles Drive on the way to Bernard Wolfe and Village Road. Bernard Road is busy for you westbound. Again, that's being used as a major alternative route to Eastern Road. And there's still some single-lane traffic for Prince Charles Drive. So keep that in mind near the Popeyes restaurant there. Elsewhere, we've got Marlon Butler Highway seeing some heavy traffic north of the Fire Trail roundabout near Harold Pond as you make your way northbound to Tawny Williams Darling Highway. But most of your commute should be relatively trouble-free this morning. That's what we're looking at. That's your real-time traffic and your morning blend traffic alert brought to you by RBC. Start a conversation at rbc.com/loan/all of you.
You try to rest, roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers. For window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it, just give us a call. Let print Masters, bring your masterpiece to life.
Located at the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
We're gonna give you a check every week for a year. Percy's Pension Plan, Island Game, keep you winning. Percy's Pension Plan, dream big, we will help you live it. Percy's Pension Plan, Island Game, we got you. Percy's Pension Plan, from the friends you can trust. If winning is a must, go play the game you know, cause your best chance is with us. The most trustworthy name is Percy's Island Game. So put 20 on your account and ride this easy train at Percy's Island Game.
Maybe it's time to explore your options. There's no harm in reviewing your mortgage arrangement and considering a better deal. CIBC Caribbean can help you narrow your search and decide. Switch your mortgage to CIBC Caribbean and enjoy a special interest rate and help towards your switching cost. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more information. Conditions apply.
Looking for great device deals and offers this summer? Look no further. Alive has special discounts on the latest smartphones, Ring devices, and accessories. Plus, as an Alive customer, you can expect exclusive Get Extra offers and rewards, which means even more value for your money. We're talking more data, prizes, and surprises. Upgrade with us and experience the perfect summer with Alive in store or at bealive.com/deals.
At Wendy's, we are different. We don't just use beef, it's fresh, never frozen. Our burgers are square because we never cut corners. Served hot off the grill with fresh lettuce, tomatoes, onions, and American cheese. We believe in fast food done right. Always serving fresh, never frozen beef. Order a hot, juicy Dave single, double, or triple. Made with fresh, never frozen beef. Now only at Wendy's. Different inside and out.
Maybe it's time to explore your options. There's no harm in reviewing your mortgage arrangement and considering a better deal. CIBC Caribbean can help you narrow your search and decide. Switch your mortgage to CIBC Caribbean and enjoy a special interest rate and help towards your switching cost. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more information. Conditions apply.
Age ain't nothing but a number, they say. Whether you're a baby boomer or a Gen X, Y, or Z, Easy Car Sales invites you to be part of the new Generation E. We drive electric for the savings, for the planet, and most importantly, for the smooth, powerful ride. You really can have it all. We love our EV and we are Generation E. Join us. Everyone is welcome. Visit IamGenerationE.com to find out more. Brought to you by Easy Car Sales.
My name is Minister Arlene Thompson. I am the Young Women's Fellowship Director, as well as I am the Community Dance Director here at Church of God of Prophecy, Shirley Street. My motto is one girl at a time. If we start with just one thing and we build on that, I think that makes a whole big difference. When we started out, we didn't anticipate having 1,000 children here. Our goal was to reach one child at a time. The whole idea was to find a safe place for them, some place for them to express their talents and their giftings, and also a positive environment for them to be in. I do the work that I do in my community because I see that they can become more than they are. I can see born leaders. And one thing I can say, the change in them has affected their families. We started something small, it grows, and we have a greater impact on the community as a whole. Crime-free looks like me.
Do your part. Join the movement to a safer Bahamas.
Here's a sure-winning art store moment from Shelley and Dee Dee.
We're the only full art store in the Bahamas. If we don't have it, we make a list, and trust me, our boss can get that. If you need that, he can get that. You can find sketchbooks, acrylics, the canvases in all sizes, stencils. We have the Angelus that they use on shoes and letters. We're the only persons in Nassau that carries the Montana spray. We have the Krylon sprays, watercolor and paints, the oil, chalk paints, the alcohol paint, metallic paints, the little Floetrol, and we have cleaning products for the artists, thinning products for the artists, and Crayola colors, and glitters, pencils, the Posca markers, and pastels, oil and the acrylic pastels, dyes. Oh yeah, we also have airbrush paint. I forget that part of the movie. Gift sets, hobby craft,
Oil shrimp,
clays.
stew shrimp, shrimp gumbo. But art supplies. We have a lot of them. Sherwin-Williams Art Store. Find colour in every day.
Experience the immediate care you deserve at Doctors Hospital Urgent Care. When emergency strikes, trust our expert physicians for fast, quality care. With extended hours and cutting-edge medical technology, we're always ready to serve you. Don't wait or take risks with your health. Visit our urgent care suite at Doctors Hospital West on Blake Road for immediate, trusted, and best care.
Are you ready to elevate your day with a burst of flavor? Look no further than Dunkin', your ultimate destination for everything delicious. From our freshly brewed coffee that is sure to pick you up, to our signature frozen beverages that will cool you down. And don't forget our mouth-watering sandwiches, made to order all day. Dunkin' has it all. And of course, our lineup of fresh donuts, muffins, and more. Dive into a world of yummy flavors at Dunkin' and bring joy to your day. The Bahamas runs on Dunkin'.
It's a Scotia Plan Loan Summer. With Scotiabank, you can chase your summer vacation, swing into your home renovation, and slide on back to school with ease. Apply for your Scotia Plan loan and benefit from competitive rates, flexible loan terms, and no payments for up to 2 months. Tick off your to-do list this summer and apply for a Scotia Plan loan today.
In the world of business, technology is not a choice. It's a necessity. And for businesses that demand excellence, there's only one choice for unparalleled support and cutting-edge technology. Custom Computers. You have challenges and we have solutions. Computing, networking, storage, and printing for enterprises large and small, aligned with premium brands like HP, Microsoft, Konica Minolta, and more. Get tech done the right way with Custom Computers. Call the Know-How team at 396-1101.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
We're back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Laverne Gardner on this Thursday morning. And yeah, we're going to talk about Junkanoo right now. This drama with the Valley Boys feeling like that game show, To Tell the Truth. Laverne, you know that show where they say, will the real whatever stand up? Will the real Valley Boys stand up? And then the audience gasps when the real ones are revealed. I thought it was contestant number 3.
I used to watch the reruns. I love that show.
Do you love this drama?
No, absolutely not.
Oh, boy, this is a lot. So this is from the Tribune today. Original Valley Boys will compete on Bay. JCNP says the group, Adderley's group, Brian Adderley's group, registered for parades first before the split. Wow. Okay, so listen to this. Junkanoo Corporation of New Providence Chairman Dion Miller said the original Valley Boys group, led by Brian Adderley, will compete as the iconic group in the Boxing Day and New Year's Day parade competitions, not the breakaway group that Trevor Davis leads. He said Adderley's group registered for the parades first before the organization split into two. He said Davis's group was given the chance to register for the competitions under a different name, but did not do so by the registration deadline on June 1st. He said the breakaway group could participate in the parades unofficially, but not the competitions.
Okay.
So
And the name of the breakaway group is actually the Breakaway Valley Boys.
no, I think they call themselves.
What are they calling themselves?
The something Valley Boys. But
World famous.
World famous. Is that it? Yes, I think that's it.
I think that's it.
Yeah. And the other one
is what? Just Valley Boys
Valley
or
Boys,
the original
Valley Boys, the true Valley Boys.
Okay.
Anyway, so this is a quote from Miller, I believe, saying this is an internal issue from the Valley Boys that the Valley Boys are going through, and it's the hope of everyone that they can find some common ground to either unite or have a clean break from one another and move forward.
Sure.
I think the country, the Junkanoo community, are exhausted of the back and forth, the innuendo, and we'd like to get back to some sort of normalcy and get to preparing for the upcoming parade. As you may recall, in June, Davis said the rupture in the Valley Boys reflects concern about how the organization had been run over the years. He said it lacked fiscal accountability, avoided elections, and failed to copyright its symbols. He believes his group has the support of 60% of people who typically rush with the Valley Boys, and said it has secured one major sponsor, Think Simple. You're familiar with that?
Well, okay, but this is not the first time that there has been a breakaway.
Sure.
Right?
No, but
this is not the first time. Which group? It's Roots who came out of Valley?
Right. Roots came out of Valley. One family came out of Saxons. And then the Genesis came out of Saxons again, I think.
Or
a lot of
one
Saxons.
family or whatever.
Something.
Right.
But
So
they usually go and
this is
form
not
a new
the first
name.
time.
They don't try to take
so
the
the
name.
issue really is the name.
Right.
And which is because I was listening to another interview about it, and it's interesting that they had never copyrighted. I don't know, the I guess for lack of a better distinction, we'll say the group that Mr. Arley is in charge of. They had never, because it was an entire body then, but even before the split, that they had never trademarked.
Well, has any group done that? Has anyone
I don't know,
done
but
that?
maybe this will be a lesson to all of them. But I definitely agree. Let's just get back in the shack and do what we have to do. And, let's look forward to Junkanoo.
Yeah. So a little more from this article. It says, we talked about this yesterday, Adderley's group held a press conference on Tuesday when he accused his counterparts of engaging in character assassination. Although Dion Miller has said registration as a nonprofit organization is unnecessary for the JCNP to recognize a Junkanoo group, Davis said he registered his group as an NPO under the Valley Boys name after realizing the other group was not registered. Youth, Sports, and Culture Minister Mario Bolag has said the ministry will not intervene in the dispute between the groups. However, he said yesterday the Junkanoo groups should be registered as NPOs. This is Bolag. All of them should have been from back then nonprofit organizations.
Right.
Endorsing the view that Davis has expressed. He said for now, groups can still be registered for parades using a business license or an NPO registration, as they have traditionally done. He suggested that when the Valley Boys fight dies down, the ministry will push the JCNP to ensure groups are registered as NPOs. Miller said the ministry and the JCNP will discuss such matters at the appropriate time. Well, that sounds like now. This is the appropriate time.
Yeah. Well, listen, because we don't know what else is coming down the pike, and we don't want to run into this again.
You don't want Laverne next week talking about she's one family. And
listen,
that would be a problem.
I'll go right there and register as an NPO.
Oh,
seriously,
boy.
These are the kinds of things that should have been taken care of a long time ago, but there wasn't an issue, and so everything is going along fine. So I encourage whoever handles the business of all of the Junkanoo groups to make sure that you register the way that you were supposed to make sure that your group is registered, to make sure that you trademark the things that are yours.
Yeah.
Do that. This is a lesson. If there's no other takeaway, trademark your name.
And there are
and
enough
everything
lawyers.
else and images. Listen,
There are
there are
enough lawyers in these groups,
in these
accountants,
groups
everything to deal
who
with
should
this.
have advised them, really.
Well, I
Hey,
don't-
do we have this sorted out? You
Mm.
know, and making sure all of the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. But certainly, if there is any takeaway, it is that. Don't just take for granted that, oh, everybody knows that we go by the name of Valley Boys. Nobody is ever gonna, because here we have a situation where we have this very thing going on now.
Wow. Let's take some calls. Let's hear what you have to say about it. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Call us toll free. 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us. 422-4796. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Hi, good morning.
Morning.
Hi.
Morning, Dwight and Laverne.
Morning.
Hi, how you doing?
Not bad.
Great. Listen, Dwight, the Wally Boys always had two names. Whenever they win, they're the world famous Wally Boys. When they get beat, they're the Wally Boys. So both groups can coexist. You remember one time there were two colors? There were colors and there were colors entertainment.
Yes.
Right? And they both appear at the same time.
They weren't
So
the
the Wally
same?
Boys could coexist with the two groups and two names.
What?
Now, however, that's not good news for the Saxon because the Saxon don't want to beat a weakened group. The reason why the Saxon come to Bay Street is to beat the Wally Boys. That may be good news for one family and also for Ruth. You know, because now they only have to compete for second. But as far as the Saxon, they don't hear no excuse. So that Saxon ain't happy with that. So Saxon want them to come as one group.
Well, imagine in the future if you get beat by both Valley Boy groups, Valley Boy 1 and Valley Boy 2. I mean, what does that say about you?
Yeah. But Luan, here's a nugget for you. I believe your top group is the Platinum Knights, right? Hey, Luan?
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. Remember
Wait,
last
she
year?
doesn't sound confident.
Sorry?
I'm confident.
Oh, yeah,
but you know where my alliance is.
No,
and my
who is it with?
allegiance is.
Who is it with?
The Swingers.
Oh, the Swingers. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You remember last year after Junkanoo, he said that they're ready now for Nassau for the A category. Well, we want him to compete against colors and also fancy dancers, and then he could now decide whether he's ready for any of these major groups. Okay?
So you say
So you tell the leader that's what
Platinum Knights need to compete against. They need to prove themselves by beating colors first in category B.
Yes, colors and fancy dancers.
How will they get their
And
stuff
fancy
here?
dancers.
Will they use the government's $2.5 million plane to get their stuff in here? How will that work?
You know what, Dwight? You didn't have to bring the
Just
plane
asking.
into
Just
this.
asking. Just asking. How that's
Okay,
gonna work.
thank you very much.
Oh, thanks a
All
lot.
right. Well, I hope the leader is listening, and I'll do my best to get that message to their leader.
Tell them to meet in the middle, neutral ground. Meet in the Berry Islands or something for a big Junkanoo showdown. How about that? No? Okay.
But that was a good point that the caller made, though. There was colors, and then there was color entertainment.
I thought they were the same.
There was.
Yeah? What was that about? When was this?
That was several years
I
ago.
thought you
Dwight.
know how you use your formal name and then you pull out all your names when you're feeling good.
Right.
That wasn't
Like,
how that
you
was?
know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Let's take this call. Good morning. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Laverne.
Morning.
Listen, I like that idea for the Freeport group to come to Nassau. Not go to Berry Islands. We're not there. We're here. We want to see that.
Oh, okay.
And once that is done, the following year, we want a match between them, family, roots, Saxons. Let's see who's actually the country's top.
Mm.
And yet, the plane is a good choice because they ain't got to pay. It's free. It's already paid for. But my thing is this. Do you think the original Wally Boys have a legal case against these other persons? Because they were formed years before these persons here probably were even born. So, I mean, legally, I would like to hear this on legal terms to see if somebody could tell us whether or not the original Wally Boys have a legal case against these other persons.
How about they have a rush out? You have a rush out. Both of you come to Bay like in 2 months, and which team looks the best gets to keep the name. How about
But
that?
the point is, be confusing because
What?
I'm a valley girl by heart. I am a valley girl, and I don't like that break. But I don't mind if you go like Genesis said, change your name. Why do you want to take the name? If you're not those originals, then why take the name? You didn't start it up. Sparky said his mother was one of the starters. And Sparky's almost 100. So that can tell you how long that name has been with those originals. So leave the name, break away, get your own name, get your own identity. My thing is, if you're taking the name, you're trying to take the identity. You're trying to take the popularity. You're scared of getting your own popularity. Yes, that is what I'm saying to the new group. You are afraid of getting your own name. Stand on your own leg, please. Leave that name alone. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. You don't think that's a good idea, Laverne, to have a rush off?
You know what? The Junkanoo Lover and me, yes, 100%. I would fly into New Providence to see that. But you know that will not work because at the end of it, because Dwight, you know what's going to happen. At the end of it, whoever the team is whoever the Junkanoo group is that didn't win, there are going to be allegations of cheating and this one did such and such and they're not accepting the results and all of that and all of that. But to the texter's point, I don't necessarily know if it's a situation where they are afraid more so than they may have realized or known that this was left open. You know, that kind of way. They were aware that the Valley Boys were not registered however they need or did not copyright that name, and so they pounced on the opportunity to take it. That kind of way. That's what I think. I think that they knew that, hey, this wasn't in place, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to do this. I'm not endorsing it. I understand what she's saying, but I think that probably what happened.
Well, I suggest, in addition to the rush out or off, if how about use some synonyms that are to valley. You could call yourself
like what?
Like gully, canyon,
the Gully Boys,
canyon,
the Canyon Boys,
gorge, gully, bowl, basin, or depression. I don't know, but yeah, those are ravine. Ravine is one apparently.
Certainly not Depression Boys.
The Gully Boys, that's got a good ring to it.
Yeah. But I just...
Gorge? No? You don't like that one? No.
We just need them to figure this out. And let's get back to the business of Junkanoo. Whether it's the Valley Boys and the Forge Boys, the Valley Boys and the Gully Boys.
Hey, that Gully has grown on me.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I like that one. All right, the phone line's lit up. Let's take some more of these calls. And got a lot of text messages as well. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. Good
Hi.
morning, Laverne.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yes, I'm Marvin Johnson here. Original Valley Boy. See, let me set the record straight, okay? There is no such thing as a new Valley Boy or old Valley Boy. We're all original Valley Boys. You understand? I was there from 1977, and I'm not aligned with one of the sides in terms of new or old. I am an original, so we are all Valley Boys. The problem that the Valley Boys is having is a management problem. The members were led into this division blindfolded. It's a management problem. I was there from day one. Up in the hotels, we had meetings in the various shacks to ask for elections. The Bryan administration was having elections amongst about 24 committee members. The new administration or interim administration was asking Bryan them originally for elections, that they should broaden the elections. Bryan Doe's administration refused. He wanted to have his election among his a group of cronies that he called his committee. And that is what led into this. It was never a situation where the Valley Boys wanted to split in half. We're all Valley Boys. We just wanted elections. However, I guess some of our the interim administrators kind of gone about it in a slighter way, which caused a problem. So it's not whether we wanted to form two groups. That is incorrect. The JCNP did what they're supposed to do. However, I think they erred when they didn't allow the Way Forward Valley to register, to be able to register, because like LeBron and other callers are saying, there was Barabbas and the Tribes, there was the Tribe, there was Colors Entertainment and Colors. So why couldn't there have been a world famous or Under Valley Boys? I think the JCNP erred in that aspect. So what needs to do is they need to go to court to sort that out, because the Way Forward Valley Boys did petition the JCNP prior to the season closing. So they need to furnish us with a written a notation as to why we weren't able to register as what we wanted to. And Dwight, you and Chester said it yesterday, and I said it to the committee members on the Way Forward. If you have a discrepancy with the name, take the W, the V, and add a W. The crowd could pronounce it Valley anyway. You understand? We could have gotten through this. You understand? But for some reason or another, they don't listen to the little PZ lawyers inside the group. So they ain't got to pay Olympic.
So you don't like our idea for Gully Boys? That's a synonym
Valley
for
Boys.
Valley.
We're Valley Boys.
Gully.
We want to be called Valley Boys, even if we have to change it to W.
Oh my. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So it's, let me just ask, it's the Way Forward. You're calling, you are Way Forward Valley Boys?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So what's going to happen now? What do you think is next?
Not world famous, Way Forward.
What needs to happen, Dwight?
Yeah.
The leaders need to stop being pig-headed, stop facing the media by themselves without proper consultation, and come to the members, keep the members abreast of what's going on, because that is what you do. You keep your members abreast, whether it's bitter or sweet. But they need to come together, let the calmer heads prevail, and work out a deal, because a deal can be worked out.
Wow.
Now, every time there is a change of government, a few heads must roll. I must see in that too, because I say some things what I shouldn't say, but I don't mind that. But there is a chance that the Valley Boys could come back together as one unit. It doesn't matter whether Brian or Trevor is this or that. We need elections. 14 people should not determine 800 people's future. That's all the Way Forward was asking for, elections.
Yeah.
But the Bryan administration refused it. So everybody got their part to blame in this.
Okay.
The two sides.
Okay.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Appreciate
All
the
right,
insight.
no problem.
All right. I see some Genesis people messaging us. Well, maybe they could consider calling themselves the Exodus. How about that? Since that's me saying
Dwight.
let's take some more calls really quickly.
No.
No, you don't like that? Good morning,
No,
caller.
they're not going to do that. They want to be called and known as the Valley Boys.
I see.
But they're willing to accept, well, he's saying they like the idea. It's changed the V to a W. You know.
Yeah. Well, when they're going to hear the wrong thing when the winner is announced, and it's going to cause a problem. And they say, no, that's Wally with a V. Ah, okay. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Dwight, how are you?
Doing well.
Good morning to your guest, out of Freeport. Dwight, I believe that you qualified with maths. 85 and 15, what do you get? Are you there, Dwight?
I'm listening to you. Yeah.
Dwight is always afraid to answer these kinds of questions.
I mean, just make your point.
He feels like it's leading into something
Just make
else.
your point. But
Dwight.
So 85 and 15 is 100. Okay, let's go.
But I mean, that's if you believe that, right? I mean, that's what people could say anything. Is it true? Have we done a poll? Have we had a vote? Who knows this? But anyway, go on.
Could you allow me, please? Madam, what's her name? Thanks for answering the question. I don't know why Dwight always duck and dodge questions. 85, 15, get 100. I don't know. I am familiar with the Valley Boys, and I will not go too far. But anyway, let me just make this point. If 85 of the majority is calling for an election, or 85 is asking some questions, and 15 refuse to answer the question, what do you get? you get a conundrum. There is no such thing as the breakaway Valley Boys. I don't know where that come from or where this new thing, come from, but the breakaway Valley Boys. There's no such thing as the breakaway Valley Boys. 85% of the majority of the Valley Boys is asking some questions.
Mm-hmm.
So you cannot have 15% don't want to ask or answer the question of the 85%. Do the maths, Dwight.
Okay.
So I don't know where they're coming up with this breakaway Valley Boys. It ain't such thing as breakaway Valley Boys. 85% of the Valley Boys is asking questions. Let's call an election.
Okay. All right. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Let's do that really quickly if you're there, and then we want to read these messages very quickly. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Are you there? No. Okay.
Right.
Oh, hi. Yes. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, LeBron.
Good morning.
Okay, Poppy, yeah. You talking about changing the names, I guess, us real Wally boys, the only name you could change and keep Wally in it is Wally Haters. That's the only name you could do. And this thing sounds like it's a sabotage for Drew. Like Brian Addy been saying on your news yesterday. These people, they must see really don't like the Wally. I know for years them John Canoes to say they don't get paid right and this is a money-making business also, although this is our culture. Maybe whosoever, whensoever they saw this, so they'll decide to treat the drummers, the horn blowers, the cowbellers, treat them better financially. But it sounds like they're trying to sabotage it. Most of the times when we call in or we send a text, right? And I don't think you be personal. You just say how it sounds to you. You'll say, well, that's a silly idea. Dwight, that's a silly idea which you come up with, but they must rush to do it. Them real Wally boys and stuff like that. Saxon people might like that. They take that for a joke, like a puppy showcase or something like that. But real Wallies, they cuss when you say that. Keep up the good work.
Wow. Okay. All right. Thanks a lot. Well,
All
this
right,
person
Dwight,
says,
so no more jokes
okay.
about that.
All right. A rush out.
rush out.
Listen to this one. A rush out competition. Why should your wife of 50 years have to prove herself or compete with the 1 month wife and determine who gets to stay? Some people would really like that, to tell you the truth. But anyway, okay. Yeah, that sounds like a plan. Anyway, the Valley Boys with Trevor Davis has 85% of the group. The Valley Boys with Brian Adley's world-famous Valley Boys is on fumes right now. Brian Adley's group barely has 250 members, while Trevor Davis' group already has 900 members.
Wow.
This person says here, why not the Valley People? The other group would call themselves that. Okay. The Valley People. That sounds kind of weird.
And I'm just going based on what a couple of, not Papa, but the previous two callers said. Candace, though, is there a way that we could bring them all back together? Is it possible that if a proper election is called, whatever they feel that proper election is, that they could come back together?
Yeah, it sounds like only if their person wins. If they have a proper election and the person they don't want wins, then it sounds like it's going to split again.
You still think it'll be an issue?
Yeah,
if they
absolutely.
say open up to whomever, put forth Mr. Davis can run for leader as well as Mr. Adderley, and then whomever their supporting teams are. Everybody go ahead and vote. And whomever is the winner, that's what they go with.
Yeah. And then
why can't
then you
that
hear
work?
things about no one offered me an olive branch to come back to the button, so I'm not rushing with them until I get the olive branch.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
If you're unhappy and you decide to leave, that's always an option.
Some more messages as we go. This person says here, the new group is being salty. That's what they went for, the name, the identity. Everyone knows who the Valley Boys are, but who trademarks or registers first gets to keep the name until the lengthy legal battle over precedence versus law. Yeah, okay. Tina Turner kept Ike Turner's last name. Okay. Yeah, she did. And, okay. They should play a game of Uno to see who will keep the name. That's crazy. That's and then they'll say the deck wasn't shuffled properly. And then, all they need is to have an election of officers and go from there. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It just seems, and I could be oversimplifying all of the issues, but based on comments and callers, it seems as if maybe there is an opportunity for them to reunite.
Yeah.
If they call whatever they deem
Well,
as
that's
a
the
proper
problem.
election.
No one seems to want to do that, so that will be the issue. This person says, "Hey, you play man to start your own group. Well, go find your own name." That's what the texter says here. Some of these political parties need to learn from the Junkanoo groups and split into original. Original PLP, original FNM, and
Lord.
Brave PLP and Pintard FNM. What now?
Oh, Lord.
I'm concerned, as a text, about the fact that NPOs are receiving government funds and not properly organized. I'm not a Junkanoo, but my monies are being spent recklessly. Yikes. Yeah.
But that is the thing. All of these groups should be required to have proper accounting policies in place. They should be required to submit reports. I don't know if they are. If they are, fine. Are they doing it? And that should be a part of you receiving your seed money, eh?
Yeah. This final text here, what you people are not understanding is that there is no breakaway. All the group members are asking is that the entire group get to vote on who leads the group going forward.
So there's it, Dwight. The entire group apparently is not. If these texters and callers are to be believed, the entire group is not included in the electoral process. And they are advocating for that to happen. So it seems if that can happen, then there is hope.
But that's the issue. That's always been the issue. That's the big problem, right? The leader and this election issue. This person's kind of suggesting that, hey, the Valley Boys could do an A and B thing. One dominate Group A and one dominate Group B. And bam, Valley Boys own everything.
No, I don't think so. I don't think that they would ever do that.
Well, I like that plan.
They're an A group and they want to be in
Valley Boys A and Valley Boys B.
They don't want to do. I don't think they want to do that.
We got to go to the news. When we come back, business, we're talking about Generation E. We'll explain what that's all about. Stay with us. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
The views and opinions of the host and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Thursday, July 4th, 2024. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Laverne Gardner. And this morning we are talking about Generation E. It's a new promotion from Easy Car Sales. They're going to explain it all to us this morning. Very pleased to welcome back from Easy Car Sales, Pia Farmer and Sean Grisette. Good morning.
Good morning.
Always
Good
a pleasure.
morning, Bahamas. Happy Independence Day to the United States and all the American friends.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hi, good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Laverne in Freeport.
Hi, Laverne.
I am Sean Grisette, and I am Generation E. I approve that message.
All right, so we're seeing all the ads, full-page ads in the papers. They're seeing it everywhere. What is Generation E? What is this all about?
So let me tell you about Generation E. Generation E is somewhere where everyone is welcome. Whether you are a baby boomer, like myself, I think I'm a baby boomer, Generation X, Generation Y, or Z, you can be Generation E. And what does that mean? You drive electric or you want to drive electric. You care about the environment. You care about economics and saving money. and you want to be empowered on the road. So that is what Generation E is about, and everybody is welcome.
Yeah. Wow. Why did this concept come about?
Well, what it is that we were talking about our EV owners. I think we have over 700 owners now on the road. Yeah. And this lady came in, I'm not going to call her name, but she's 80-something. She drives an EV. And then we had the mother of somebody who herself drives an EV, buying an EV for her child coming out of school. And we were saying, isn't it amazing? Because any age, you can be driving electric. Yeah. And it resonates. It doesn't matter with your background, your age, whether it's for business or for pleasure or whatever. There is an EV for you, for your lifestyle and for your pocketbook. Right. And that's how it started. And then Nikki Saddleton of Octopus Digital, she came on board. We've worked together before. And she developed
shout out to Nikki. We worked with her.
Yes, Nikki. I love
the
Nikki.
launch of Guardian Radio.
She's the best.
She is. So we've been working on this since April. In the meantime, I went to China as well and came back. So it's been an ongoing preparation. And what we want to do is we want everybody to realize that everybody can drive electric, okay? Everybody can be part of the electric evolution of transportation. And we're all on the road to it, whether we are driving electric now or not. We're on our way there. And we want to just include everybody. So we have a page called IamGenerationE.com. IamGenerationE.com. If you go there, then you can get information, facts, illustrations. You can see testimonials by our owners. We're going to put up a new one every week. Okay. Testimonial from, this is not scripted. This is what they're saying, you know. You can get and then also, you know what, you can ask us questions. And there is a section with just myths and facts, because there's a lot of misinformation out there from wherever the sources are, not mention the fossil fuel companies or anything. But there's a lot of misinformation out there. So what we've done is we have a whole section of questions that people ask us most often. And you can send us your questions and we will answer.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
All right, excellent.
And we're finding, and this is all of our EV owners, they love their EV.
Right.
It's like they love not having to go to a gas station again, having to deal with a bush mechanic
Get a little closer to that mic,
So, and this is in general, everybody loves their EVs. They don't want to ever go back to gas again. And so this is a good, a nice place for them to all come together, to unite, to coalesce, to get ideas, to give, encouragement so that everyone else can join the Generation E.
You mentioned an EV for everyone.
Yes.
But you mentioned pocketbook as well. And for a while there, they were saying, well, this is an EV for all the rich people.
Yes.
So that is one of the myths now.
Yeah. Well, because BYD is very distinguished high-end company. And we introduced the BYD Tang, the 7-seater fabulous Tang effect vehicle, and also the Han. These were all very high-end vehicles. So now BYD is concentrating on making vehicles for everyone, because their goal is to reduce temperatures by 1 degree centigrade around the planet. That's quite a goal. And they want everyone to be driving electric. So now our vehicles start from about $31,000, including the charger that you would use to plug in at home or at work. So we have 31,000 lovely 4-door, what was called a Seagull, but really they call it the Dolphin Mini here for marketing purposes. I don't know why. And then we have a summer special, which is the Jeep, the compact Jeep, the Yuan Pro, also by BYD. And you've seen a lot of those on the road. And that one is now $39,950, including VAT, including a charger, including licensing and everything. So it's a great starting vehicle. Now, please, I understand not everybody is ready to buy a new car. only 2,000, 2,500 people buy a new car every year in the Bahamas. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And some years it's been much less than that, 1,800 people or 1,600 people. So if you say 2,000 people buy a new car each year, it is still a new car market that we are addressing because there aren't enough second-hand vehicles yet in the market because it's a relatively new industry.
EVs.
Yeah, EVs.
And when we started out, because this has been our mission from the get-go, we started with second-hand Nissan Leafs.
Remember
I
that?
loved my Nissan Leaf.
I loved
never
mine
wanted to
too.
let it go. But and our mission was to bring EVs down to the common people so that everybody can experience them. And so as we got on board with BYD and other brands like Geely and also Jack, it's still our mission to bring the cost of these vehicles down to the everyday Bahamians so that they can also be a part of Generation E.
Because it's an investment, right? You would think that it's the rich people or the environmentalists or whatever that are buying electric cars. They're not.
No.
It's your average middle-class
Teachers,
person
yes.
who is really planning for the future at a fixed rate for their fuel and such, because this week gas may be $5.50, next week it's $6. Who knows? It could be $7 if there's yet another war somewhere. So
when is it over there at Freeport, Laverne?
And on the Family Islands,
and the
even worse.
Family Islands even,
worse.
and Family Islands are adopting EVs as well. So what you're doing is you're making an investment into a future where your fuel costs are much more consistent, and where service is also very simple because electric cars don't require so much service as a gas car or a hybrid, which now has two drivetrains and has to talk to each other and so all of that. So
You're
please,
mashing my corn. You're mashing my corn with that.
We just need some facts because
It's what it is.
Very few of us here in studio have to deal with gas prices. So
and you know what it is with
input,
hybrids is that people say, oh, well, at least I'm on my way with a hybrid. And I understand
You're
that
getting
that's
there.
how it's been sold to you. But it is still a gas car emitting harmful CO2, carbon dioxide emissions. It may be less than 100% gas car, but estimates are that it's not even half. It's more than half of gas cars. So in any event, we want to encourage everybody to move towards electric. I don't want to judge anybody. I just want to invite everybody.
I was about to judge Laverne, but we won't do that. It's bad enough that she's in Freeport.
I mean, well, I don't know. I
Good
don't
to
know
be in
Freeport.
Freeport. I love Freeport.
I don't. He loves Freeport. He's there all the time. I don't know Freeport.
Well, Laverne, are you okay?
Have you recovered?
I don't know. Should I just sign out?
No. Not at all.
No. But I mean, everybody does the best that they can, and I understand everybody is not ready for a new car today. However, there will be more options available as this industry grows, and the sooner people adopt electric vehicles, the more secondhand electric vehicles that will be on the road.
Right.
And you have to be careful also with pre-owned electric vehicles.
Just about to ask you about that.
And getting them from anywhere,
You have to be a little
what should
careful.
people keep in mind if they are going to be looking at the secondhand EV market?
You have to look at the battery life and quality. So BYDs have what is called a Blade battery, which is the most advanced battery in the market right now. Jacks have the CATL battery, which has just actually announced a new version that it's going to be taking us
And those are also in Teslas as
600 miles or something. So you need a good quality battery.
So don't get an old EV because the newer EVs have the best battery tech, and these batteries last 50, 60 years, a million miles. That's what they say, yeah.
Okay, well, we know that they are made to charge 5,000 times in their lifetime. And if you're charging them 5,000 times for 200 miles each time, you can get to a very high number. Right now, they're
million.
talking, I don't
Do
know
the
math.
math.
Yeah, I'm not good
Yeah,
at
do the
math.
math right now.
Here.
We
So-
got some math people out there.
So what it is that batteries are now made for the life of the vehicle.
To outlive
so
the
people
vehicle, really.
are asking us, when do you have to change the battery? You don't. That was
No.
the old battery. So you don't want to be buying a car that doesn't have the latest technology.
Right.
Exactly.
So if you are buying something that is less than 3 years old, you're probably safe. Now, things like BYD has an 8-year warranty on the battery and the motor. So, for example, if it's 3 years old, you still have 5 years warranty because it moves with the car. So we have some pre-owned vehicles because our customers are upgrading. So we have some. But if you are thinking of importing an electric vehicle,
Right.
you have to be very careful because you have to have somebody with the diagnostic tools that can check on it. And you have to check on that battery and that it's a quality battery. So, of course, we prefer you to buy local because you're supporting the local economy, the local workers, the local businesses, and so forth. But we know that people will bring them in, but you have to be
Yeah.
very responsible about it.
And when we think about EV and the Generation E, it's all about the economics
Right.
Yes.
of owning a electric car. In fact, you save about $4 a gallon. We all know what the RIO is, or ROI, return on investment. The E generation gets the ROE, the return on energy. When you buy a gallon of gas, you're buying energy. Did you know that up to about 20 to 25% of that gallon that you're putting in your vehicle, your gas vehicle, only 25% of that is used in propelling the vehicle. 80 or to 75% of that energy is just wasted in heat, in exhaust and pollution and all of that stuff. Imagine when you go authorize pump 2 and you give them that $20, just visualize you tearing off
$20.
20%.
$20.
20 won't get you far.
80% of that. Well, I don't know. I don't.
No.
80% of that is just wasted.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
wow.
estimates are between 50 and 75% of the gas that you put in your gas tank doesn't go to push the car, to propel the vehicle. As the combustion engine burns, it goes up literally in smoke and heat. I hate to tell you, I know people are sitting in their car right now.
Idling in traffic, yep.
But it's a very inefficient use of our natural resources.
Yeah.
When that fossil fuel is made into electricity, it is 4 times more efficient. And it's cleaner on the road. So when you're driving, you are not emitting harmful gases. As you see in our advertising, we are not telling you only how much you can save on gas and service, but we're also telling you how much you are reducing your carbon footprint by. And those figures come from Edmunds, which is one of the top
Everybody goes there.
international companies about mobility as a whole, transportation. So each car, on average, emits 4.5 metric tons of harmful CO2 gases into the atmosphere every year.
Yeah, so you got 2 ads. You got one in the Tribune, one in the Guardian today. And, I mean, we're seeing estimated fuel and maintenance savings between $3,500 and $6,600.
Depending on the vehicle and the
year,
model.
yeah.
And that comes not from us, that comes from Edmunds. You can go to their website and you can get that information.
That's a big chunk of money right there.
Well, and it's a big chunk of money for 1 year. So if you're saving $4,000 this year, and you're saving $4,000 next year, or maybe you're saving
For
more
8
because
years.
gas has gone up. I don't know, so you're saving almost the cost of your car over the 8 years that you have a warranty on the car.
All right, so we're talking with Pia Farmer and Sean Grisette. This texter's asking, you talked about it, although you said you won't likely have to change your battery at all.
Right.
But they're saying, how much does a new battery cost generally?
Zero right now is zero. If you buy a brand new vehicle from us, the cost is zero.
Yeah.
Because
But
it's
if you
replaced
need to replace
under
it,
warranty.
Oh, if you get it under warranty.
Well, it's a new
Right.
cars come with
Well,
a
that's the
warranty.
problem. If you're going to bring in your own car, you're not going to have warranty. We offer a 5 or 8 year warranty depending on the model. Now, when people ask that question, they want a figure. Now, when you think about the cost of batteries over the last 8 years, has halved, more than halved, and the batteries have become more efficient and can take you longer. Okay? I don't know what the price is going to be in 9 years.
We can't say that for a loaf
I
of
can't
bread.
tell you.
Right.
Because in 9 years, look at computers. When they first came out in the 80s, computers, they were $5,000. I used to sell them. I own custom computers. I know, right? Today, you can buy a much better laptop.
Computer lab for that amount of money.
Right. So the same thing is happening with the batteries. So I can't give you a figure. I can tell you.
We don't know what it'll be in 8 years. That's the
And
thing.
I can tell you that they're made for the life of the vehicle.
Right.
And you have to think about all those mufflers,
Transmissions.
radiators, transmissions, things that you didn't
Engine
have to
overhauls.
do over that period of time to your gas car.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, so clearly, as you mentioned, that's a low number of people buying new cars in this country.
Yeah.
So clearly, a lot of people are not aware of the prices in the new car market here.
Yeah.
And so we got this text here. These cars aren't for normal Bahamian people. My son just finished college and starting at $31,000. That's, I guess you're saying that's going to be too much. What do you have for people just starting? But that is in this market pretty low.
That is a good price. Let me
Yeah,
tell
for
you
new cars,
something.
that's
for new cars.
Comparing it to something like a Honda Fit.
Or gas, yeah.
And this one, the Dolphin Mini, is bigger than the Fit. The Fit is probably what, in the 20s? I don't know. But you're going to still be buying gas and servicing 1,000 parts in that car. And I don't want to pick on any brand. I'm just saying the size comparable to my car.
Compact sedans in this market are in the 30s and 40s.
Right. And our sedan is priced very close to that is on the ad today. And what happens is the minute you're driving that car, you are saving $4 from every gallon of gas you would have bought at the gas station. You are paying $1.50 to BPL to go the same distance as a gallon of gas. Let me say that again. You're going to plug in your car at home and pay $1.50 in electricity to go the same distance as a gallon of gas. So that means there's a $4 difference right away. So if you're saving $4,000 the first year, and by the second year, you're already at the same level as that gas car you might have bought, except you're having much more fun, you're driving much better, you're lowering your carbon footprint, and you're putting money in your pocket. I don't know that the comparison is unfair. When you take the SUV, a BYD Plus, for example, that sells in the low 50s, you buy a, a CRV, which I loved. I used to have a CRV. The CRV is 47,899. Okay, so it's very comparable. Then I saw the Pilot. The Pilot was selling for
we saw that
90,000 or something. I can't quote exactly. Please forgive me. So you can get a Tang 7-seater luxury SUV that'll heat your bum and massage your back for the same price. So I don't think that EVs are uncompetitive. And even if up front it looks like it's a little bit more, you're going to be saving that money in the first year or two. Plus, you're going to have so much fun with your EV.
Okay. We hear this all the time. Every time we hear somebody asks about it, this is the hurricane season. Nassau floods easily. How will this work?
And that's a part of the website, generatione.com. It has all those myths, questions, and answers. So please go
Before
there.
you answer, I just want to know, are people in regular cars just zooming through the water with
I'm passing by them in my EV, okay?
I mean, you
No. That's
I
literally
used
the-
to see water and turn around because I don't know what
I
this is.
see water and go for it.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, I think it comes from the fear that we all know that water and electricity don't mix. So I think, people have valid concerns
So that's
in
one of the
asking the
first
question.
myths on the site.
That's
Mhm.
the
Yeah,
fair.
that's
Yeah.
one of
The
the
electricity.
first.
So,
Okay.
Yeah,
so actually, just to allay those fears, we have been driving electric for like 8 years. We go through deep waters on this island in the rain, and we see the gas cars on the side of the road
Lord.
while we float straight through it.
Yeah.
We don't have an exhaust, so water can't come in and affect
And stall the vehicle.
Stall the vehicle.
But you shouldn't intentionally drive through the most flooded streets.
No.
No one wants
should
to.
do that.
Who-
Right.
But
Unless they have a boat.
you are very safe in an electric car because the battery is hermetically sealed. There is no way that the battery is going to touch the water. And nobody, if you Google it, nobody has ever died driving an electric vehicle through water. Full stop, no questions whatsoever. So you can inform yourself either through our website, iamgeneratione.com, where we have all these myths. We have the sources where the answers came from, and we can back up every claim that we make, whether it be in an advertisement or in our website, because we have been studying this for 8 years, okay? So we have the information, and no question is silly. We just write to iamgeneratione.com. There is a thing where you can ask your questions, and we are very happy to answer them. And there are no silly questions. We want you to know the facts.
And people don't realize they're up to, 700, nearly 800 EVs up and down these flooded streets all year round, driving right next to them.
Right
with
now,
no issues
on this island. Yeah.
Yes,
Wow.
yes.
All right. This person's asking, how often do EVs need to be serviced, and what is the average cost of service?
So they only need a checkup because it's not a service. No oil change, no spark plugs, none of that. No greasy anything. So once a year, we will remind you to drop by and bring your car in for a checkup. It takes only a couple of hours. It's very simple, and we have fixed rates for service. I think it is $299 for certain models and $399 for other models. And that is all that you have to do once a year.
Right. Yeah. Okay. This person says here, how will EVs affect our electricity grid with BPL having so many problems keeping our
There's
lights
solar
on
ready.
now?
Get your solar panels. We all want to go solar.
Yeah, so ideally, the idea is you're going to have solar. Solar is
some
growing
point.
in this country, whether it be in people's homes, businesses are going solar, or in the electricity mix, because we have committed to have a larger mix of renewables in our energy grid. Okay, so the question being, the electricity. So each one of these vehicles uses, imagine the central AC in a house or an electric water heater. Those use about the same amount of energy in a year as your average electric vehicle. Now you have some more powerful electric vehicles that will use more.
Like the Han.
And some that will use less. But you have to compare it to another appliance or service in
Because
your
that's
house.
what it is, an electrical appliance.
So I remember well when we were told we were washing too much clothes and using too much power. Do you remember that? Yeah. Okay, are we going to tell people now, sorry, but the grid cannot take another water heater,
Or washing
electric
machine.
water heater, or another central air conditioning unit? So we have looked at it. If 5,000 electric vehicles landed from heaven onto this island today, it would draw less than 0.1% of the amount of energy that BPL produces in estimate currently in the Bahamas. So it is not a large figure. It is not that everybody's going to plug in their electric car and suddenly we won't have energy. But it is not to say that we don't have to improve our grid. And
We do.
I understand efforts are being made to do that. But we can't say, no, we don't want something better, more efficient, that it's going to cost me less money, that's going to be
Cleaner.
better for the planet, because BPL may not be able to cope. But even if you accepted that question, the truth is, when you calculate, and this is mathematics, we know how much kilowatts each car uses to go how far. So if a car drives for 10,000 miles a year, which is average in the Bahamas, you can say how much kilowatts that is going to use.
Right.
And then you can look at how much BPL produces in a year, estimated, depending on what's up and what's down. And you can tell that 5,000 EVs will draw less power than 0.1% of the production. These are facts.
And most people will only need to charge once
Only
a week.
once a week.
or so.
I only
yeah.
charge once a week.
Once a week or so. And then, for example, in a progressive society that is addressing its energy needs and reinventing what we had of old, BPL, which is what is supposedly how I don't know the details,
Nope, who
but
does?
the new entities would be very smart to say we're going to reduce the cost of electricity overnight when it's not so needed for people to plug in overnight, which is what most of us do. We go once a week, we go to bed, we plug it in, next morning it's done.
For the
right?
week.
So then our costs would go down, more people would be encouraged to drive electric, and we would be meeting some of our stated national goals, which is to reduce emissions by 30%.
Wow.
By
All right.
2030.
So we hear all the time that when you leave like phone chargers plugged in and you're not charging, that's drawing electricity. If you leave your car charging, it's already charged at 100%.
It shuts off.
So it's not pulling any more electricity after
No,
that.
not that I'm aware of. Maybe for the little blinking light, I don't know. But,
No.
but basically, your car, once it's charged, the thing turns off. Done. You don't
And
have to
as-
get up and go plug it out, unplug it or anything.
Yeah, so as it charges, like for instance, from 0 to 80%, it goes really fast. But that last 20% is really, really slow. And so, as you go up, as you peak, it uses less energy. So, no. And then when it's done, it shuts off. Yeah.
And I wanted to let people know that it's almost like its own surge suppressor. So power surges, brownouts, on, off, power cuts do not affect the charging of your vehicle.
Right. Wow. Okay. Give us that website again for the Generation E.
It's so fun. It's called IamGenerationE.com. And there you can find some videos that we've created. My son wrote the music for it. If you like it, you could check out moonlitmusicgroup.com.
Okay.
And we have testimonials from our owners, and these are real people. They're not paid actors. And you can ask any questions that you
And they're
you would like.
verifiable facts. A lot of people have these preconceived ideas about EVs. We see it a lot on Facebook. But get the facts. Just go and find, and if you don't think it's the truth, verify it.
Yeah.
Google it. AI it, and then you'll see.
If you have questions for Pia Farmer and Sean Brissett, give us a call, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, or toll free, 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, or text us, 422-4796. All right, so I wanted to ask you, so Tesla gets a lot of interesting publicity, sometimes bad publicity. Does that affect EVs in any way? Does it?
Not at all. In fact, they were pioneers from the get-go, and we appreciate all that they brought to the EV market. They lead in innovations, self-driving, and all that. When I go to the States, I jump in a Tesla. There's superchargers all around. It's super convenient. We need to kind of separate Tesla from the
rest of the world.
Another figure that kind of causes some issues. But when it comes to a vehicle, they're good vehicles.
And the thing about it is that the perspective or the press that we get here, not to call it propaganda, but the press that we get here is very American-centric, or United States-centric, not even the rest of the Americas, but just United States-centric. And their way of looking at transportation may be very different from the rest of the world. Like I said, I just came back from China, okay? I was in enormous cities where half the vehicles were electric, they were quiet, they were smooth. I went to the car show in Beijing. For 3 days, I saw must be 30 companies or more that are producing electric vehicles. They're selling very well in the Far East, in Australia, in Europe. The rest of the world is going electric. America is having a bit more of a challenge moving into the future. And, the same way as Tesla has had their ups and downs, so will old legacy car companies, and some of them may not make it. Some of the well-known brands may not make it into the future because they're not adapting and adopting better transportation. So there is a personality there with Elon Musk that also affects things. And we can't be too worried every day up and down. This is a long game.
Yeah. All right, so this is not what you said. This is not what Pia said. They're saying, so to really save on money with ownership of an EV, that would require installing solar panels? You said that would be ideal.
Yeah.
That's the ideal.
Yeah,
that's where everybody's,
all right, that would be great, but you don't have to.
No. And in fact, you save more money immediately just plugging into the grid because you save $4
And that's
per
instant,
gallon
instantly.
and it's instant. Once you go solar, though, what you do is you reduce it even further to cents per gallon, but it's not such a big difference. But what you're doing is you're being more sustainable. You are using the sun to charge your car. You can't do that with no gas or hybrid car. Well, maybe a plug-in hybrid,
And
you
that's-
could
that's-
do the
that's-
little battery, but it wouldn't take you 250, 300 miles like an electric vehicle. So no, the ideal, in my opinion, is to have solar on your rooftop for your whole house, including charging a car, which becomes another appliance. You plug in everything else in your house. The car is an appliance.
And that's the whole idea around Generation E. It's about empowering yourself.
Right.
You know, freeing yourself of the shackles to this power company, to that gas station, to that mechanic, to that. You know, you are now empowered. Your transportation, that's a big part of your life.
The texter goes on to say, and then these are questions that you need to be asking of all vehicles, ICE vehicles especially.
Okay,
They're asking, can these EVs malfunction and trap a person inside? This has occurred in the U.S. Can the vehicles be hacked?
Okay,
electric
this has
cars.
occurred in the United States. I don't know where he's getting that information. Can they be trapped inside a car? I don't know. In 8 years, every time I press a button, it does what it's supposed to do.
Now, let's be reasonable. You know, EVs are not perfect. They're better.
Right. Well, that's
okay.
that's
They're better vehicles. They're not perfect because there's no perfect car. You're going to find issues with everything. All right. And we can't solve all the problems. I mean, we get people asking us about the cobalt mining in Africa or this, that, and that. EVs aren't here to solve all of the problems because they're not the perfect solution. But all we're saying is they're better. They're better vehicles. They're a better solution than driving
And BYD
gas.
batteries don't have cobalt, by the way.
Yeah.
So we're not even involved in that. And, I find it difficult for people who, for 120 years, we've been sucking out the fossil fuels from the ground with all resulting nastiness all over the world and problems that we've had in our environment that we're paying for today. And suddenly the EV is the bad guy? No.
Yeah. Wow.
So
Laverne?
I have a question. If you were to purchase an electric vehicle from Easy Sales, you mentioned that you would have to have a checkup, right? Once a year.
Yeah.
If you are on a family island, you're not in New Providence, you're in Grand Bahama, does a technician come to you? How would that work
Yes.
for you to get that checkup?
Right now, our techs are going to the islands, all the islands, wherever there is an EV. However, we started a training program where we have invited people from Eleuthera and Grand Bahama, particularly so far. Was there another island? I think there was another island.
Maybe.
And we are training people to support EVs for free. At Easy Car Sales.
Yes, we're empowering your local residents to service your
Exactly.
EVs.
So we don't want to be exclusive. In fact, we are in talks with BTVI to design a course to be taught at BTVI on EV maintenance. And also, I am now in conversations with a high school that is going to be sending their summer students to us to shadow our techs. This is not, brain surgery, all right? And we are happy to share all of our knowledge, but whenever we need to, we send our techs to the islands to do the checkups.
Now, as an EV driver for 8 years, I do most of the servicing, and guess what it is? Windshield wiper fluid, windshield wipers, and tires. I'm sorry, that's it.
No, there's a diagnostic laptop. You plug in the car, and it gives you a whole report as well.
Callers, we'll get to you in a second, but these texts are quite interesting today.
Oh, good. Yes, bring 'em on.
Boy, this one said the videos of people be getting trapped in their vehicles and suffocating. I don't know why that was.
I don't know. No, I can't.
When they lose power. So why would you be driving with the car about to lose power?
Yeah, has that happened here locally? What is he talking about?
Anyway,
What are they talking
listen,
about? No.
I know everything that's basically out there information because I'm plugged in a lot to a lot of information about electric vehicles. This, I have to say, is a new one for me.
Yeah.
Already. Okay, I've never heard this before. Now, I've heard of people worrying about the batteries, And that is something we clarify on our website, iamgeneratione.com. So in true fact, an electric vehicle is 100 times less likely to combust than a gas car. 100 times. Look it up, research it, find out. Insurance companies are grading it this way as well. 100 times less likely. Did you know that last year, over 450 people died in the United States alone from exploding gas cars? But that's acceptable. You see how we've been brainwashed? It's acceptable for that to happen every year. That gas cars, well, they'll blow up, because they got this flammable fuel in them. If you are so unlucky that your car, electric vehicle, something happens to the battery, number A, it doesn't explode. So you can get out. And I have never heard of people getting stuck and not being able to get out of their electric car. At least not a BYD, not a Jack, and not a Geely.
And didn't we have like the fire of the century a couple months back in a scrap yard? What was that all about?
I don't know about that getting locked up in your car or whatever. I've never heard of that.
This person says here, it seems
I
like
have
your
another
guests.
question when you're done.
Okay.
Um,
All right. It seems
Right.
if your guests want to do away with gasoline vehicles, why can't they coexist? Thank God the incoming president of the United States, oh God, Lord, Donald Trump,
I'm not even going there.
doesn't subscribe to
Yeah,
eliminating
that's-
gas vehicles.
Yeah.
Okay, so listen, we are going to
But there are
coexist.
donkey carts downtown right now, coexisting with gas cars. Okay? Great.
But no, we are going to coexist. Gas cars are not going anywhere like that.
fast.
It's not like they're going to disappear in the next 2 years. What we are only saying is that there is better technology, a better way to move people and goods through the roads of the world than burning gasoline on the road. That's all we're saying. Now, it's going to coexist for a long time, but the demand for gas is also going to reduce after a peak in the next few years.
And wouldn't you want better performance, better driving, a better experience while driving the latest
Now,
technology?
I have to say something about the American market. I've mentioned it before. They're different from the rest of the world because they're very tied to their fossil fuels. Also, they started with electric vehicles very late. When Tesla started, you don't remember, they laughed and laughed and laughed at this man. Okay?
Yeah.
He was ridiculed. It was such a crazy idea. Well, look where he is today. And look what's happening to the
were
rest
nearing
of the world.
bankruptcy
So the United States, sadly, is very far behind in battery technology compared to the rest of the world. I have no doubt they will catch up, especially after the investment of the current president of the United States in renewables, in electric transportation, in charging infrastructure, and so forth. Now, you may agree, you may not agree. You can do what you want, You can be
All
part of
about choice.
Generation E or not. We're just
about
saying
choice.
we are living the electric life. Come and join us. We're trying to tell you
Come and
about
see.
it. But if you don't want
Test
to,
drive one.
but don't. Just don't.
one's
That's
forcing.
fine. You can keep on going to the gas station and paying for maintenance as long as you want.
Go ahead,
Laverne, can I take this
so
call
you
really
kinda
quickly
touched
before?
on it just now.
Okay, you go.
But what I wanted to ask is, we see a number of known companies now, brands now having electric vehicles. So my question is, why the brand that you're selling as opposed to the comparison?
Oh, why would I
in
choose?
terms of- right. your
Well, we had a
as
brand.
opposed to some of these,
we were selling the
different
Nissan
companies who
Leaf.
now
yeah.
have electric vehicles.
Yes, so that is an indication of the level of investment in electric mobility that is taking place around the world. I mean, money is flowing to that new technology, new brands are appearing, and old legacy brands are trying to catch up and keep up with what is going on. But as we know, when you're doing things a certain way for very long,
hard to
it's very difficult to turn that ship around. Some of them are going to succeed, some of them are not.
Toyota is very resistant to EVs.
Right. However, on the other hand, they say they're going to be using blade batteries to do their electric vehicles. They bet on hydrogen, for example. So that's also been another thing. People were betting on hydrogen. And hydrogen is going to be very useful for commercial enterprises, buses, ships, and so forth, but it's not very convenient today for a consumer. You can't just go load up your car with hydrogen, but you can plug it in at home like any other appliance. So that's why. So why would you choose my brand other than another? In the Bahamas, I would choose my brand because it's backed up by warranty and technicians that have been trained internationally. Did you know our techs travel all over the world to be trained, and they always come back with awards. They always perform and outperform other techs. So you can choose whichever one brand that you want, that you like, that the model that you like. You know, the Prime Minister chose a BMW. He didn't buy one of my BYDs, but I love it that he bought an electric car or leased an electric car. I don't care. You can get whatever brand you want, just as long as it's locally supported, okay? And that you are happy with the model that you chose and it's in your price range.
Yeah, and to answer your question, Laverne, we went with BYD because they had the options. They had the different vehicles that we, you know, with Nissan, as I said, we started with the Nissan, which is Nissan Leaf, which is a very well-known brand, but we only had one, only one little Leaf.
One type of car.
But when we went to BYD, we had a sedan, we had a hatchback, we had a mini, a cargo van, which you see all around Nassau, many of the companies with. So we had a lot more options, and now we're seeing with Jack the same thing, a lot of more other options. With
And our
Jack.
pickup truck.
And the
Yeah,
pickup
people
trucks.
love the pickup
And so
truck.
that's what it's all about. We go where the options are.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the options aren't with the legacy motors. I'm sorry.
Not quite yet.
Yeah.
Good
No.
morning, caller. You're on the air. Are you there?
Good
We had you
morning.
holding a while. Call us back. 323-6232.
So sorry about that.
325-4316. 325-4259. Call us toll free 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us 422-4796. Okay, this person says they want to hear more from people who have electric vehicles.
Yes.
Go to the site.
Yeah.
IamGenerationE.com. You're gonna see testimonials. And what I love about that site is you go back, you will see more and more information. It keeps you coming back for more.
Yeah, so this is very important part of Generation E. This I Am Generation E promotion is that we want to hear from drivers. I can be sitting here lecturing you from
I know you're
forever, and you know I could talk about electric cars forever, but you can only hear so much once I'm preaching to you. So you have to hear from our owners, and we have 8 owners who volunteered to come and tell us about their experience.
Yeah. So maybe next time you come here, we'll have a few come on the show.
That would be nice.
That would be so
That's a
fun.
good
Okay.
idea. Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's take this call quickly. Good morning. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning. Very interesting information on the electric cars. And I was listening to a news story, overseas news story, and there was an electric car that caught a fire. And the firemen were reluctant to get too close to the car. They didn't even let it. They actually didn't even use an extinguisher. They just let the car burn off. So I know, unlike the gas cars, you can do that. So I'd like to hear what are their remarks about it. And there's another question you would have already answered, but let me ask it. If I were to, say, buy an electric car, I know I'd have to do some extra things as far as where I put what charger I use in terms of the electricity power in a house. In a house, but I know y'all were saying you have solar and some other things you would need to do.
Solar is not.
You would need, more electricity.
Oh, right. No, okay.
Solar is not
car.
mandatory. It's just like installing a dryer. I'm sure you have a dryer, and you had to get a special plug installed by your electrician. That's all it is. It's the most simplest procedure ever.
Yeah, to install a charger, that's all it takes. You don't need solar. No, you can have it if you want
have
it,
it's
and then
great, yeah.
it's free from the sun charging your car.
So
It's
God
like
forbids what I was just saying about if an electric car were to catch a fire.
Now, I just wanted you to
what
understand
would have to be done?
that there are batteries in hybrids as well.
So, okay, so let me explain about the batteries and the fires. And so, as I mentioned, batteries in an electric vehicle are 100 times less likely to happen than in a gas car. So we start with that fact that is that you can research online and that is clear. So the chances are much lower. However, when a battery does go on fire, it's because there's some sort of imbalance. There's a failure in that battery. Batteries that are properly made don't go on fire. It's very rare. It's a stability of the chemicals inside the battery that causes a fire. Now, what we've been doing is we've had training for the fire departments, first responders at Easy Car to know how to deal with battery fire. And when we did that, they told us, oh, well, we already deal with the hybrid batteries, so we know what to do. The difference is that you need much, much, much more water to put out an electric battery fire than you do to put out a gas car fire. However, the end result is the same. Your car gone. Okay. Either way.
Hybrid or electric.
Now, the other difference is that the electric battery isn't going to explode in any way. Okay, whereas a gas tank can explode.
And one thing about that story, I think this might have been Florida you're talking about. I think I saw this, but the reaction of the fire department there might not have been reasonable.
No,
right? That might just be what they felt like they should.
They might not have been aware what to do.
Right. They might just be based on all the stuff they hear as well. Might have acted irrationally. You have to keep that.
Well, I mean, you're either a professional. Oh, you're not.
Yeah.
If you are a professional firefighter, that is a very important job full of responsibilities. So, you know, you have to know what you're doing, and I'm sure that they are trained. Maybe they didn't know what to do on that day. But, you know, again, it's okay. It's okay for us to have thousands of deaths every year around the world from exploding gas cars. We've accepted it. It's like the norm. It's okay. Well, it's going to happen. You know, why? But now the electric car comes, and now we are the baddies. I don't understand the thinking.
Really quickly, the email, the website again for...
I am GenerationE.com. Come join us. Everybody is welcome. It doesn't matter your age, your background, or what you want to use your EV for.
You don't even have to have an EV or own an EV. You just want to aspire to have one as your next vehicle.
And so what we want to do is keep you informed, keep you entertained, keep you engaged.
Give you the facts.
And into the new generation of driving.
All right, so next time you come back, we're going to bring some people on.
Let's do that.
But hopefully the host will join in as well.
Hopefully everyone will be able to talk about it by then. Peter Farmer, Sean Grisette, thank you so much for being here this morning.
Thank you,
and thank you to the audience very much for once again listening in. And come and try an electric car. That's the best way to find out what's happening.
Test drive them, absolutely.
Test drive, yes.
Folks, pick up today's NASA Guardian in the business section for the latest in business news. This portion brought to you in part by Seafowl, growing wealth for future generations. Laverne, thank you so much. I'll see you next week.
Always a pleasure. Thank you.
I'll be back tomorrow morning with more Morning Blend. Coming to you live on location, a special location tomorrow, folks. You want to tune in for that wonderful show. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green next.
Electric Avenue, and then we'll take it higher. Oh, we're gonna rock down to Electric Avenue, and then we'll